Welcome to the Circle Jerk with Masturbator. Am I audible for everyone else?
Oh, I can hear.
Yeah, I get you.
I can hear
I can
echoing
hear
in the
you.
background.
Okay, so this is Masturbator, myself a Masturbator. Joining
Oh
us
crap,
today
that's
is
an echo.
Mentalic. What?
Hold on a second, that's an echo.
Are you going to fuck up my introduction, Mentalic? Joining us today is
I'm
Mentalic.
sorry, I just heard an echo.
You're hearing an echo from me.
Yeah, I was hearing the echo.
Yeah.
Oh. Now what can I do about that? Man, this is already fucked up. Just a second.
Well, going good until the stream started.
I don't even have a fucking microphone. Okay. Sorry, not a microphone, a headphone. So joining us today is Mentalic.
Oh,
Hodotaku
What's up?
and what?
I said hi.
And for the first time, joining our stream, Lord Triton.
What is up, everybody? Y'all chilling?
Hey Wolf, are you hearing echo from my side?
yeah, I'm getting an echo from your side.
Yeah.
Hold up, all of you just mute your mic for a second. It sometimes happens with other people too, because of their mic. Can you just mute yourself? Hold up, I'll mute you all for a second. Okay. Wolf, can you hear it? Am I echoing right now? I'm still echoing? It's not just a Wolf thing, anyone else can answer that too. Am I still echoing?
It might be Triton.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Because the echoing stops.
My mic was muted when you were still echoing,
Okay.
so it's
So
not
this
me.
is coming from Titan side, right?
I don't hear the echoing though on my end.
Alright. Okay. If I'm not echoing and anyone other people can answer that too. If I'm not, Triton, just mute your mic for a second.
Alright.
Thanks. So, okay, for both you and Mentalic, am I echoing right now?
No.
All right. So
it's. I was trying to see if it was me.
It was you. Is what you're telling me. Mentalic, I'm going to kill you.
Hey, it wasn't echoing before.
I was like, I don't know what to do about my echoing because I'm using a laptop and probably for the first time, and I was legit fucking scared. I don't know what to do. I don't have.
So here's what I might have to do. I might have to mute myself until it's my turn to speak.
No, if Triton muted and nobody's hearing echo, then it's coming from Triton side. But we'll let Triton speak too, but we'll ask him beforehand. And I don't want to do this with Triton, but what can we do if I'm echoing? Then So I'll apologize to you in advance, Triton. It happens. Shit like this happens. So okay, I think I introduced Triton, I introduced Mentalic, I introduced Hototaku. My whole introduction was already fucked up. But basically, this is the Circle Jerk. Those 4 people here that I just introduced are here with me. And one of them joined us for the first time. It's Triton. He has a great channel. You can watch his videos. I think he did a video on Seth. Triton, you can answer that. Have you did a video on Seth before, or is this like your first time talking about
I
it?
just use Hood's edit, but I've never did like a full-on video on Seth yet.
Okay. All right. So basically, Seth the Programmer has been in a lot of controversy, and saying he's in a lot of controversy is putting it a lot nicely. He's straight up exposed. Now, before we get to the whole controversy, for people who aren't into Seth, who don't know him, we'll give him a brief introduction. He's a power scaler. He's made himself known out of the coattails of Death Battle, because when Death Battle was doing these fantasy fight videos where they put one character from one franchise against another, they always calculate feats and strengths and everything else just to see who would win if there ever is a battle between one character A or character B. Seth the Programmer got famous off of that because he was making videos of the same thing except with the animation, and most of his videos are debunking Death Battle until he went on his own and he started like talking about how this character is stronger, this character is stronger, and if Naruto faces Goku, Goku would beat him. He never actually made that video, but points is still my sorry.
I believe he branched off a little bit too, because I do remember him doing a Mike Tyson versus Bruce Lee video as well.
Yeah, but those are still fantasy fights. Like
Yeah.
if he's doing a Mike Tyson Bruce Lee video, like those are not happening in real life.
Right.
And he's like
But
bringing up a hypothetical scenario.
But it's like he deviated from anime a little bit. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't think he was always an anime channel. I think he was doing some comic book stuff too. I could be wrong.
I mean, he did do Batman, if Batman solved the cure case.
Yeah, he's
That's
mostly an anime channel, but he also kind of did other stuff too. But my point is, he's one of the people who he's most notorious because he was doing these videos like where he's calculating people's feats and he's bringing up how this character is this strong and how strong one character is, and if they ever get into a hypothetical fight, who would win, and that's how he's known. Now in my personal opinion, even though we just gave an introduction and this video is probably going to be a lot long, in my opinion, I think this whole thing is fucking garbage. Because a character, from what I know, can get as strong as the
writer wants the
want him
character.
to. Yeah. So if he makes a video of how strong Goku is still a character who's constantly evolving. So when you so if he makes one video, he has to make it again. And how many times
Right.
will he make a video on Goku until he's satisfied? The other thing is, since we're talking about Goku, he did a 6-hour stream just talking about how Goku is the strongest. So that tells you everything about the guy. Second thing is,
Seems like a Goku dick ride if you ask me.
yeah, but in other shows, especially in Dragon Ball, people can just get stronger once they wish it to be. For example, and this is the example that we always use. Android 17 was just training with the animals, and he's able to go against either Super Saiyan Blue Goku from anime continuity or Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the manga continuity, but he was nowhere near that level beforehand, and all he did is just by training by himself.
And he could there's examples of that in early Z with the Zenkai boost when Saiyans come close to near death experiences, they experience a surge in power.
Right. And another thing to mention is someone brought up someone brought up Bruce Lee and Mike Tyson. That is the most bullshit video I've ever seen, because you can't do a boxer versus Bruce Lee video. Like you can't have like a clash of like the whole clash of times, a clash of style thing just falls apart because those are two different rules. Like if like Bruce Lee has to be fighting Mike Tyson under the boxing rules to be able to
And
like beat him, and
it's
that's
not
not
really
going
a
to happen.
fair fight. It's not really
It's
a
not a
fair
fair
fight. Bruce Lee doesn't have the striking power that Mike Tyson has. So
It's not even.
he
It's
doesn't
not.
hit
It's
as
not.
hard as Tyson.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said he doesn't hit as
I'm
hard as
gonna
Tyson.
say this.
Yes, he has the skill,
it's-
but
I wouldn't say it's a fair fight because it's just because of the like you said, it's because it's like different styles and
that too.
that's like putting a kickboxer in the ring with a box. That's like putting a kickboxer in the ring with a boxer.
That's like taking like a household cat and having him go up against a tiger.
Yeah.
Well, what I was actually getting to is regardless of who is stronger or not stronger, but who would win in a fight is completely irrelevant because if you're putting a boxer against a kung fu guy, right, you would be assuming like we have to understand what fight is going to take place. If it's a street fight where all the bums can just like punch each other and like throw shit at each other, would that be considered a fight? No, I don't think so.
No, it wouldn't.
Would Bruce Lee have to be fighting Mike Tyson under the boxing rules? Because that wouldn't be fair to Bruce Lee. If Mike Tyson is going to fight Bruce Lee where he can punch and kick shit, would Mike Tyson be able to beat him? That wouldn't work either. If we can, and the other answer is yeah, we can bring up mixed martial arts because that's how it started, but that still falls apart because mixed martial arts have their own rules. So, and that is the reason why some mixed martial artists who come in like fight boxers, and like if a mixed martial artist get into boxing, chances are they won't perform as well. That is how Jake Paul is winning all his fights. So does that mean those like Jake Paul is tougher than the mixed martial artist that came before him? That's not fair either. So that fight is never going to take place, and it shouldn't take place. And if it takes place, it's not going to be fair. Even if either we bring up mixed martial arts, which is a completely different rule and style of discipline, and both of those have to learn different things, and then would have to pair up with each other, or they would be having a street fight, and if it's a street fight, then it's anything goes. You can just throw weapons in there too. So how is this fair? That's a complete bullshit fight. Am I making sense here? And I'll let Triton speak too. I'll not, just because of his mic, I will not antagonize him. So Triton, what do you want to say?
I feel like character strengths don't even like matter because it's like characters can always just train, and like beat the other. I feel like Seth was just always dick riding Goku for some odd reason. But then again, too, like the whole anime community does because of Toriyama has made Goku like the star character, so everyone's of course gonna suck off Goku.
Yeah. Right. So
But like that's the thing, it's like I don't know if Seth's one of them, but I know a bunch of these Dragon Ball YouTubers have said like Goku could be like Marvel characters and all that, and I don't believe that Goku can.
Maybe like the street tier, mid tier Marvel characters, but
but not like the S tier, like Geekdom says. Like Geekdom's literally like, Goku can beat like I don't know which characters, but I know like it was like some crazy character. I'm like, no, like no way Goku can like beat him.
right, and comic book characters are a different thing too, because if you're putting an anime character where a story is linear, right? And even in Dragon Ball, although there's different continuities, sure, but the Dragon Ball is still like a containing story. There is start and an end. But in comic books,
Right.
it has been going on for a lot longer, way before any of us
And-
were born.
And
Sorry.
in comic books, there are multiple different versions of one character. So if you're gonna pit like Goku versus Superman, which Superman are we talking about? Because there's several different like versions and reboots and pre-crisis, post-crisis versions of Superman.
Yeah, and so if we're just bringing that up, like we also have to consider that comic book writers, like there are different people who are writing the comic book. So if we're talking about, like as Wolf mentioned, All-Star Superman, right? So All-Star Superman is OP, but if we like, and if we're putting him against Goku, it's not a fair fight. But if we're putting, let's say, Superman from the animated series or Superman from a Batman comic, which is weaker and Batman can fucking beat his ass, that would mean Goku would win. So none of these things ever make sense. Then he branched off and talked about how strong is one character. Like he talked about, and I'm not shitting you, he talked about Beast Gohan and Black Frieza and their involvement. And it's not just him, to be fair. And they're talking about how Beast Gohan is outversal, multiversal, and how Black Frieza is outversal and multiversal. And all they did is basically 30 seconds at best. Like, all Gohan did with his new form is kick Cell Max and fire a special beam cannon, and all Frieza did is like all one shot Goku and Frieza.
Frieza barely had any screen time in his new form when it first came out. When the chapter first released, we only had like maybe a few panels.
Yeah. So if we like, how can we judge that just by one panel or like 3 panels at best, or a 30-second animation at best?
I haven't really been keeping up with the manga chapters, but has Frieza even like turned it into his golden form ever since like the Broly movie?
No, because he just introduced a new form.
What new form is it? Like Diamond Frieza or something?
He's
Oh
black.
no, wait, no, I remember Black Frieza. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Kind of
So-
racist if you ask me.
Frieza now
Does that
gets
mean
the input
Frieza can
power.
have the impasse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is the thing. Like, Frieza has not done anything to be able to properly gauge his strength, just like Gohan. So why are we doing this power scaling video on those characters when they haven't done shit? That is my point.
We don't even know
So-
where
Yeah, and
to
I
lowball.
agree.
We don't even know where to lowball him either, because we don't know what character we don't know what characters he would lose to.
Technically, we
what
don't
he-
even know like how Goku like got
Or-
Ultra
or-
Instinct. He just got it out of nowhere too. So it's like how scaling videos on Goku don't really make sense because Toriyama doesn't communicate on how these characters get these new forms anymore. It just comes out of Toriyama's ass and he writes it, and that's it. Like there's no actually true way of these characters getting these forms. So therefore, these power scaling videos are kind of useless. No.
Yeah. And to another thing, and I think we'll talking about this way too long, but another third point I want to bring is when he puts one character from one franchise and another, that's also not fair. Because, and I'm not trying to say Goku is the strongest character ever, but if you're putting him with Saitama, for argument's sake, Saitama, who is not even shown nowhere near his like strength. The most you can see, he was fighting Karo, but then his strength keeps evolving. So that's a completely moot argument, right? And bro, stop talking in riddles. Stop talking in riddles. Like, what I was getting is like, if he's fighting Saitama, it's not a fair thing because first we don't know how strong Saitama is, and the second thing is those are two different things. Like, how are we putting Goku, who's already done way too much, against another character whose whole power system is different? So it just doesn't. It's fun. It's fine if you want to do the fantasy fights, but like Seth's problem is they're not even entertaining. And the other thing is like Death Battle, for example, can get away because most of the time people are only concerned with the animation. Seth doesn't have animation, and when he did, we get to that. It never worked. That's what I was getting at. I think the one who has the wider review. We're just talking about Seth. Ramble. But anyways, that is the whole issue with whole power scaling people. They're all fucking dumb. And you can all bring your opinion and then we'll continue with the controversy. If anyone else has anything to add.
No, I think we can get to the main topic.
Alright.
Yeah.
Got way too awkward, huh? So, the whole controversy with Seth, and this is the whole main point of the whole thing, is Seth has been accused of scamming. Like, he's accused of scamming. He's not even accused, he's straight up exposed. But Clyde made a video on Seth, and all of, like, his video, which is like 2 hours, 3 hours long. Minta, like, I can't hear you. What were you saying? Minta, like, we can't hear you. All right. Minta is coming back. So the whole controversy with Seth is that he like Clyde made a video on him, which he basically called him a scumbag friend. He scammed people. He groomed multiple minors, and he basically got his mod to eat shit. Like, he got one of his people in his server to eat shit to get Discord moderator powers, and put some like and another guy put what do you
Hold
call
on.
it?
Can I just say something about that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
If you ever will eat shit for a Discord mod, then you're retarded. I'm sorry. I don't care what mental illnesses you have or not. If you're gonna eat shit for a Discord mod, then you're retarded. Plain and simple.
Okay, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Well, like,
Yeah.
Cyber Ninja Gaming is asking if you got a weapon pointed at you. Is it true?
Did Wolfa come to your house?
The fuck?
Well,
I don't know
that
what was going
probably
on.
explains
My
the whole
phone called and then it just messed up it just fucked up my whole night. Like,
Now
when you
Wolf
talking
is
about the power
pointing at
skills, I was
Triton.
gonna bring up the fact that they take one-off feats out. They find a one-off feat and roll with it. Even though most feats are just to be cool.
Okay. So, Triton, if you never mind. So basically,
Now, Triton.
I was getting Metallic. What you were going to say? You were trying to say something.
No, I was about to
So
say
what
that
happened?
Train was trying to show it back up.
I disconnected. What happened?
Yeah, this happens like if you're using a phone and you're using StreamYard, you have to stay on that app, otherwise you would get it disconnected.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So basically,
I logged down the app on accident, but I'm gonna try my best to stay on.
And then I was gonna ask, like, what did I miss? What part of the conversation did I miss?
we were just talking
Well, we
about
got into the grooming stuff, and then I had a little rant about whoever eats shit for like a Discord mod is retarded.
yeah.
So
And
I'm sorry, you can't really blame Seth for that because no one can make you do anything online. I'm sure like Seth was actually joking too. I'm sure he wasn't actually serious, and that fan just did it, and he's getting canceled for that.
The grooming
He
part
is
was
kind
I
of-
think
side with Seth on that one.
He is kind of enticing that kind of behavior because he's giving the said person who shoved ice cube tools up his ass and shit mod powers.
Yeah, and we
So,
get
Yeah, but let's say let's say in Pod server, like Pod said, hey masturbator, or hey Hood, shove a bunch of shit in your mouth and I'll give you this
Oh.
game mod. Are you gonna actually do it?
Hello?
We'll get to a lot of this.
No,
We'll address what you said. Wait. We'll address
Go
what
ahead.
all of you said. We'll just get to what his whole thing is. So I'll repeat for anyone who just joined. Seth is accused of grooming a minor, sexting minors. He basically got one of his people in his Discord to eat shit to get mod powers. He got another to put a popsicle up his ass to get mod powers. He scammed people, if I didn't mention it right now. He scammed people. He made fun of someone's suicide. If you talk about the list, Seth basically committed a lot of this. He basically committed all the crimes from the thing that came out.
He committed everything that can get your career ruined.
Yeah.
I wonder how he's gonna bounce back. Like, do you think he'll come back, or do you think he's just done for good?
No,
We'll talk about that too later. So,
all right.
what I have is, where do you want to start with? You want to start with the scamming? Do you want to start with?
Yeah, I'm
mod
actually
thing
wanting
that
to start the scamming because I actually want to know more about it. Because I already know about the grooming and all that other stuff.
Okay. So, before we start, we also want to mention, if you want to look at any other context, I've put Clyde's video, I've put Keem's stream, I've put Clothespin stream for commentary, but the first thing I think I did put was the document. 2 documents actually. One of them we'll discuss because that is more timing than the other. But I put 2 documents, you can take a look. I put other links to Clothespin stream, Keemstar streams, and other fucking ignorant people that we'll also get to. But let's get to the scamming thing because Triton asked to talk about it first. So the scamming, so give for a context, Seth was doing a Naruto versus Ichigo animation, where what he was doing, from my knowledge, you can all add in too, where he was trying to do something like a death battle. He was starting his own death battle, and what he was doing, he was starting with Naruto versus Ichigo, where it was him and it was going to be Clyde, and they're going to be talking about who's stronger and who's they're going to be talking about 2 Naruto and Ichigo's feats, and then there's going to be an animation. And the impressive thing about that is he was actually they were funding the whole project. Seth started a Patreon. He was putting his own money into it and was asking other people to put into it, which had thousands of dollars every month from Seth's point of view, what Seth said. But it was even getting more because one month someone got 2,000 and they were hundreds of thousands of money put into it. And what they were doing is they were getting multiple animators to work on it. One of them is Omar. He's the head animator who supervises the whole thing and also correct a lot of inconsistency visual. If you want to get to it, you can Google the whole thing, the head animator thing. But with the whole scamming thing, where this thing got started is Seth, last year, cancelled the whole thing. So he told people, from his words, is that hey, he was putting his money, and he was still asking people to put, if he would appreciate if these people pour their money to that project to help the animators and everyone. But what happened is, he said that regardless if you pay or not, we'll get that animation done. We'll promise you that we'll get that animation done. And he never even delivered on it because he said it wasn't making much money. So first he said it doesn't matter if you put in or not. If you do, it would help us, and we'll give you some updates, and we will let you on private streams where you can watch the whole thing or get to know about the whole thing. So he got and I'm not shooting you, hundreds of thousands of dollars. At the very minimum, 10,000, because he was getting that shit for years, right? He put in a trailer And then next, like last year or something, not even last year, some months ago, in 2022, that's a definite, but it was some months ago, May, June, July, but that's not an entire year. He cancelled the whole thing. So whoever paid money to that project basically got scammed because they put in a lot of money into this project and they never got the project.
He should have refunded them. That should have been the
Seth
first
basically
priority,
said-
is to refund everybody who donated to you for this project that didn't release. But he didn't do that. He waited until now, until the Keemstar stream, to start thinking about doing this.
that
Wait.
is-
It gets even worse.
I doubt
That
he'll
is one
even
thing.
refund them.
That is one thing.
Wait, it gets
Yeah.
even worse. He
Wait,
didn't even
it
let
gets
fans
even
know.
worse.
Wait.
That is one thing. Then he proceeded to lie. That he said, hey, whoever funded the
Like he
project,
didn't.
wait, I'll get to it. Or whoever funded the project were already told in secret and they got to see the animation in secret, which is already bullshit because it's like, let's say, he said the animation was like 75-95% done with the whole fight's over and they were just getting to dialogue. Now, I want you to understand this. If something is shown in a, like even in like a private Discord call, if something is shown, wouldn't there be chance of a leak? Like, for example,
Right. Wait. Go ahead.
if I show you, go ahead.
Well, and considering the large fan base he has, wouldn't there be people recording it and trying to post it on the internet for other
Yeah.
people to see,
Yeah, exactly.
so they can get some quick clicks and likes?
Yeah, there was no private VC call, and if there was, it would have been leaked. Like the whole animation would have been leaked and already put out there. So the whole thing's bullshit anyway. And then he said that, like, he said he lied about how much donation it was getting because he said he only got thousands of dollars at total. That's what he said first. Then, when he was in Keemstar stream, he said, no, I wasn't getting thousands of dollars in total. I got thousands of dollars in a month. So he lied there. To be fair to Seth, he actually put in a lot of money, but the reason he cancelled the whole thing because it was taking too long.
Wait.
And he's
Wait,
not
hold
patient.
on. So it wasn't he got thousands of dollars in a month.
Yeah. You see how he changed his life? That's what he said in Keemstar stream.
But then again, him cutting the project down makes even less sense. Because if he got like thousands of dollars in a month, then he would have he would have had it, like, I'm doing the math. I'm doing like the math. There's a high chance he would have had enough by the time the deadline was due.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he kept going.
Let's so 75% done. You're telling me that you can't get the 25% that's left of it finished in time?
Yeah.
Like,
And the other thing is,
this whole story just makes no sense.
and it never made sense because he also said, and he agreed with, like, one of the guys, I got, he brought it up. He said, so what you were telling me is that it was going to be a passion project. You encouraged people to donate to you, but you never forced them. And there's a difference. Basically, when you encourage people, you think, if you donate to me, we'll give you some access, we'll give you some benefits. It would be nice of you to do it, but we're going to put it out regardless. And then it never came out. And it was promoted to hell. There was even a trailer dropped. Donation was already there. And then he said, well, it can't come out because it wasn't making money, which is bullshit. And that was never the point of what you were bringing up. So what are you
And
on
then,
about?
there was the fact that there were some people that were still willing to donate, but the Patreon was shut down.
Yeah. And then, like, as Wolf brought up here, then with Clyde's video, and then he did another additional stream with Omar. Not stream, but video. where he interviewed the guy, and he said that he was treating the guy like shit anyway. He was treating Clyde like shit. He kicked him out of the project. He was treating the head animator like shit, and all the other animators like shit. And it was so bad that the head animator has to take therapy. So, but that is
back
the
kicking
whole
out the
scamming thing.
animators,
That's
the animators left themselves because they said they could not deal with them.
And then here's another one. When he was in Keemstar stream, and you were all talking about refunding, right? He was in Keemstar stream. He was asked to refund the whole project, but what Seth decided to do, he said, well, we'll work up a strategy. I'll work up a strategy. People were telling him to just refund people. He said, well, I'm working on it. So, how are you working on it when the most thing, like one thing you should do is refund the project, but he never did. So,
and you're waiting. No, you're waiting until now to do it. It's too late at this point.
I'm gonna take a guess at what happened. I'm gonna take a guess what happened and why he didn't refund.
Yeah, he just needs to refund it at this point because no one's gonna even care because his career's already over. So he just needs to refund that.
My thing is he spent the money.
He probably did.
Here's another thing, and that is something that was going on for one. And Metallic were discussing this, and he said, and this is the first thing he said: because of my mental issues, I canceled the whole thing because of my mental issues. So you stole money, and you stole something that was years in the making that would probably be something good for your channel because his other videos are garbage. That would have been actually decent, and it would be on his channel, so he's going to get fruits of his own labor. And he cancelled the whole thing because it was taking too long. And he's not in the right state of mind.
Probably make even more money than he got in the long run.
Okay. I'm gonna say this here. To anyone that uses mental illness as an excuse to do horrible shit, yeah, I can go fuck yourselves.
It's
so that's the thing. If he knew like he was gonna cancel and he knew like this thing might not work, he shouldn't be taking people's money like that. He should have waited to take people's money until he's 100% sure that he's gonna do this. If he wasn't for sure, he shouldn't be taking people's money.
I cannot stand when people say, "Oh, I'm depressed. That's why I did this horrible thing."
Okay, yeah, because depressed people. No, what depressed people do is they promise people shit. They have people invest money into something, and then they don't deliver on it and just take people's money. That's what depressed people do. Yeah, okay.
Being depressed does not mean you get to do scummy shit, though. Like, and that's the thing, too. You're right. Like, depressed people will do that. Just take people's money because that's the only thing they can do because they don't want to work or do nothing.
No, that I was being sarcastic.
Well, I mean, some do though. Like some people say, "Oh, I'm depressed, so I gotta, just take people's money to make me happy." Like some depressed people actually, not all of them, but like a lot of people when they're depressed, mainly scummy people, they like to say, "Oh, I just scamming people and hurting people makes me happy."
Okay.
That's probably what Seth
and then here's this. All right, Seth. Let's compare you. All right, since Seth and he does this because he's depressed. Let's compare him to Clyde. Clyde didn't scam people.
Wait, what?
No, I'm saying if he's going to use the person as excuse, I mean, like comparing him to Clyde didn't scam people.
True, but what I was getting to is like Seth, this is not even like the first time he changed his excuse. First he said it was my mental issues that I had to cancel the whole project. Now it's all well and good, except that you were actually taking other people's money. So, and Seth contributed a lot of his money on that too, but that point is still irrelevant considering the fact that you still took money from other people. First you said my mental issues, then you said it was not making much money, and then when other people were saying you should be a little bit more transparent, he tried to do the whole asshole thing where I hate you, you hate me, we all hate each other. Nobody called him out. Nobody called him out
I
Then
remember seeing this one
then-
video where someone said that since Clyde was a part of the project, why didn't he refund the money? And I'm gonna do a counter argument to that maybe he didn't have access to the Patreon since it was Seth's Patreon.
yeah, like he wasn't like, and it was going to be on Seth's channel.
And Seth was the main person funding the whole project, at least.
So how would Clyde refund the money that he didn't get?
Yeah,
Doesn't have
it was going to Seth's Patreon, so like Clyde probably didn't even get none of the money. Seth got all the money because it's going to his Patreon, and he was the one in charge of refunding.
Shit. Sorry, go ahead.
Like I saw a video when they brought it up, and I was like at first I was like, okay, they have a point, but then when I thought about it more, I was like, yeah, but that was Seth's Patreon on Seth's channel.
See,
So how in the hell would
was
Clyde have access to the money?
see, but there was never a point. And the other thing is that got to me was Seth was bullshitting clearly to people, and it took all of them now to call him out on scamming.
That's
So
true.
not only is Seth wasn't Seth the scammer right now, he was Seth the scammer from a long time, and nobody just noticed it. So that, like, the whole thing was, it's fucking bullshit. He stole a lot of money, he never refunded them, and when he was asked about it, he said, well, I'm going to work on it. But how are you going to work on it? All you have to do is give money back. And one of the channels that I linked, Clothespin stream, he also brought up a point is that it's not, you can't give money to everyone, but what you can do is you can see who's donated the most and you can give that money back, and that's how you can do it. But he never, he like in the entire Keemstar stream, he never said he's going to give the money back. He just said he's working on a strategy, which he was called out on.
I'm also gonna say this. I told MaSTAR this before, but when I heard about the project, the first time I heard about the project, I was like, yeah, that's gonna fail. Like, I already knew either Seth was gonna back out, or like somehow the project was gonna just not happen.
Here's another thing that he said that I'll bring up, and I also like have some of my notes. But one of the things he said is, he said that he doesn't know who paid him what, which is completely bullshit. If you're on Patreon, there's a certain like section where if you like, you will know who's paying you what money.
You're telling me that the Patreon doesn't notify you on transactions and
Yeah,
who's sending
that's
you
what-
money and who's not sending you money?
That's what he said. He doesn't know who paid him what.
You know what's funny? He knows when people pay him on Twitch. But you
Okay.
can't look at a notification on Patreon. Look at it.
There's no transaction receipts or something.
No, this
Now, this is
transaction
another
shit
thing.
is on Patreon.
Or
Now,
like
go ahead.
or like something that can prove that person sent you this amount of dollars. But go ahead,
Do you know
Taylor.
how much he was charging on his Patreon?
From Seth, right? And it was even like other people said they were donating hundreds of thousands of dollars. Someone
Oh,
even
so
said I
that's a
just donated
lot.
hundreds of thousands of dollars. And another guy showed that he donated $2,000. And what Seth said, first he said he got thousands of dollars in total. Then he said he was getting thousands of dollars every month. And he's already rich. That's what he said. He's already rich.
Wait. If you're already rich, If he was already rich and this was like a passion project, why did he?
He said he can just retire.
Could be for heaven and earth.
He said he can retire at his age and have enough money to be enough for a lifetime. Now this is another thing I want to approach now because I was like looking at my notes. So I don't know how many. Like I think I sent it to Hood and to Menta. Like I also told, but since he was planning on joining. Now this is what he said, and in the Keemstar stream, and I want to hear all of your reaction in case you haven't read that. Seth said, and I quote, "I never promised to finish Naruto vs Ichigo. I said I was going to do a video, but I never promised to finish it."
You advertised you advertised it as if it was a project, as if it was a project.
Multiple streams you have said
yes.
that it's getting nearly done. How the?
You advertised it like it was gonna come out and release.
Call that cat.
So you can't be mad when people expect for it to come out and release and not be canceled.
If you never said you're gonna finish it, then why the fuck did you put the trailer out?
That's like.
Why the fuck are you taking people's money for it? And why are you asking for money for it?
A trailer for a movie, and then canceling the movie and saying, "Oh, well, we didn't promise that the movie was coming out." Then why did you drop a trailer and everything like it really was gonna come out and release?
Exactly.
I mean, they do know that when companies do now, so there are some companies that do put out trailers and then don't deliver the product or cancel the project,
and
they still get lambasted.
Right.
This is like such a childish thing. Well, I said I'm going to put it down, but I never. That is like saying.
But let's just say something.
That's just a cop. That just sounds like a cop out. That just sounds like something you would say just to get out of something.
And here's the thing, it's a bad one because here's the thing. He just put himself in the same boat as that guy that made the Senpai Simulator, the Yandere Simulator. He put himself right in that same boat.
But see,
as the guy that made the Yandere Simulator.
But you said like it's a weird cop-out because it is. Like that is like me saying, "Hey, I never murdered you. I just took your life." Like it's the same thing. Yeah. So, like, I promised to put out the problem. I just never promised.
Even as a cop-out, it's dumb because that doesn't really absolve you of scamming a person. That just proves that you scammed them. It just proves that you scammed them.
It melts your brain. It melts your brain. Now this is another thing. Okay, so that is the whole scamming thing that I was planning on bringing up. Any of you have another thought before we move on? Triton wasn't saying a lot. Triton, you want to say something?
Well, I'll just say like Seth said, I didn't promise to finish it. If you knew there was a chance he wasn't going to finish it, why the hell are you asking people to go on your Patreon, and why are you taking money, and why are you putting on the trailer like it's going to be finished? And why didn't you state that on the Patreon too? Like, if you knew this thing wasn't going to be finished, and you're saying stuff like, "Oh, I didn't promise it was going to be finished," you should have put a disclaimer on the Patreons and say, "Hey, there's a chance this thing might not work and might not be finished, so put your money in wisely." And if people put your money in, then you would have a case be like, "I didn't scam because I said there's a chance it could not finish." But since he didn't do that, he's definitely a scammer, and there's no defense for it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Matt
Knight.
Wolf had said something, and I wanted to respond to it. Yeah, well, some of the video game companies do, but the person I was talking about, Younger Ray Death, he did it.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
That is definitely Seth the Scammer. Now, one of the major things that was brought up is that he's a groomer or a sex offender or pedophile. And I think Wolf even said it here too. Whether he is or not, I'll get to it. But he's definitely a groomer. Now, this is what I'll get to, and I'll present this for all of you right now. I'm just putting it. All right, there it is. So, can you see the whole screen? Not just for people in the stream, but also people in the chat. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Is it clear, visible for you?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear for me.
I'll just ask people for the chat before I continue. Whoever's in there, like there are 5 people in the stream. That is a lot more people than I've ever had.
Wait, how many people on the stream right now?
5 people.
There better be 5 likes. There better be more than 5 likes by the time I get off the stream. Y'all better hit the like button.
Hit the button.
Hit the like button.
Thanks, Triton. But I was saying okay, so this is a document that was claiming was bullshit. Obviously, it got updated. You see update from this part. But this is the entire document that was brought up years ago. Right? The whole allegation towards Seth being a groomer, that was already there for a long, long time. It's only come to light now because Seth has basically admitted to everything. So first Seth said that it's bullshit because it's false.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
This document's been out for a long time, right? Hold on.
Stop. Triton, go ahead.
Did Clyde know about these allegations for a long time?
Yes.
So why is he now coming out? Now he doesn't like Seth. That's something that just makes me question Clyde's true intentions about this.
I'll get to it.
And questions Clyde's morality, because it seems like Clyde didn't care until right after he had fallen out with Seth. Like as soon as he had a fallen out with Seth, all of a sudden he doesn't agree with a lot of stuff Seth has done. But even he said in the video that he used to be defending Seth. Why the hell is he defending and supporting someone when he knew for a long time this person was grooming minors in his Discord? This makes no sense, and it makes me believe Clyde's just a scumbag doing this for clout only, and he's not really doesn't have true intentions.
I'll get to that. But Mentali was also trying to get to that, but
I also have a stance on that too that I want to talk about.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. But
I was gonna say this, that I will admit this, that when these docs first came out, I did believe it. I'm gonna say this. I didn't believe that Seth was a pedophile. I knew he was an asshole. I knew he was an abuser. I knew he was a doxer and a harasser. But I didn't believe he was a pedophile because of one video he made. And the fact that he said that those weren't him in the screenshot. So I was like, I mean, there's not really enough proof. There's not really enough for me to go off of that at the time.
Okay. So that a lot of people brush it off mentally. That is another thing. Even I brushed it off initially. So this is the document right here. Can you see my mouse moving? All right. So this is the part where they updated the whole thing. But it was already there for a long time, and Seth tried to not debunk it, but try to discredit it by saying, well, it's out of context, it's fake, it's a lot of bullshit. And I want you to remember all of this. So I'll get to this whole thing. I'll even get to this part that I highlighted here. This and this. First, let's get to the Catherine Kawai thing. So Seth was what this was taken from 2018, which is he was 20 around that time, because Seth said he's 25 now. So
Mhm.
if
No, actually,
Twen- like-
actually, he's 26.
he's 26 is what you're telling me.
Yeah, he's 26. He's
But
like
that makes
two, he's like
He's
2
like-
years. He's like 2 years younger than my younger brother. Than my youngest brother.
Uh,
So,
that
yeah,
would
I know
make
what age he is.
him 22 at the time then, if my math is
Seth-
correct.
Okay, so what Seth from
Actually,
the
21
Keemstar,
at the time.
from
Wait,
Keemstar
oh,
stream
yeah, 21. My bad.
from
Go
Keemstar
ahead, Vader.
from Keemstar stream, Seth said that he was 25 and he was showing Keemstar some ID. But basically, he said he was 25, and in 2018 he must be 20. If you do the math,
Wait.
we'll get to that.
Wait, look at the month. Look at the month of the video. Look
What?
at the month of the screenshot. If this past
Yeah.
like if it was if it's like if the month is like past February 7th, then his birthday already passed.
Yeah, but what I was getting to,
And he'd be 21.
In Keemstar stream, he said he was 20. He is 25 now. So if
He
he was,
Keemstar stream, but that was before February the 7th.
I
Can
know.
we get to the point?
What I was
Okay.
trying to say is that if we go by that age, Seth is 20. He should probably be 20 at that point in time. It's April 25. He's in his 20 years old, and he asked this 16-year-old boy. From what I heard, I think he's a boy. He asked a 16-year-old boy, he like what his age is, and he said 16. He was 20 years old. 2021. In here it says 21. So when he was 2021, he asked this boy, he was 16 years old. And then this is April 25, and in July of 18th, right? 2 months? Yeah, like two months later, 3 months later, he this is what he said. And I'll read this. Catherine Kawai, make sure to live stream yourself sleeping. Seth, naked or clothed. Catherine Kawai, naked would be preferred, but I don't know how YouTube would react to that. Seth, the real question is, how would you react to that? So to be safe, Catherine said, so to be safe, wrap a cloth around your belly. How would I would probably watch the stream for about a minute, then lose interest. It's the sad truth. Your thoughts? Disappointed. And I'll again mention this again for people. He asked the age around April, and then he talked about if he wants to, if the 16-year-old in question wants to see him sleeping naked or clothed. And if the kid said, I won't watch you for too long, he said he's disappointed. So what are your thoughts?
Wait. There's also a video. There's also where he posted a video showing that actually where the person who blocks it, where the kawaii person who was talking to Self unblocked Self and showed that the conversation actually did happen.
Yeah,
There's
but
like a video clip in it.
there's a whole thing here. But
Shit,
what did I do? Okay. Can you see the stream? Like, can you see the whole document?
Yeah, I
Let
can.
me zoom it a little bit. Alright. So, Kawai said he was 16, and Seth still asked him after knowing his age. After knowing his age is, do you want to see me sleeping naked or clothed? And what are your thoughts?
You should be talking. You should be talking about that type of shit to a minor. You're 21 years old.
Not only that, but
Yep.
you shouldn't be talking about that on the internet to someone you don't even know, period. Because you don't know who's behind the screen. It could be someone lying about the age, but yeah, like you shouldn't even be sexting online. Like that's why I tell people all the time, don't be
shouldn't-
sexting online. It's not good.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't even be a conversation. Like
It really
you a
shouldn't. I
21-year-old.
agree.
but I'm gonna wait until the next point. I have a thought on this, but I'm waiting until the next point.
And oh, by the way, just for people in the chat. So first of all, this is an update. He already admitted he did all of this shit. So the whole thing, whether the deleted user is him or not, is completely moot. But this person
Oh yeah,
did an entire
That's
balls deep
click the
research.
video link.
Wait, what?
I was
Click
saying
the
see where it
video
says video link. Yeah, click video link.
Yeah, but I'm already screen sharing the document, right?
Oh, okay.
I would have to screen share my entire screen to get to that. I'll get to all of this, but
Right.
hold up. I'll open this link for the sake. Okay.
Sup, mortal?
Who?
Someone said hi in the chat.
What's up? Mortal Infinity must be alright. So he already admitted this was him. So whether it's him or not, as the deleted user is completely moot. But for other sake, this person went balls deep in explaining how Seth the Programmer was him. He used what do you call it? He asked other people if it was him or not. There are screenshots like here, which had the same what do you call it? Which confirmed that it was him. Then I think he used another bot to verify it was him. He checked the ID and everything. They even recorded the process of the searching the Discord ID. Hold up, I'll play this too. There's too many things to look at. Do you want me to play it? Oh shit. Do you want me to play it or to see if the ID is him, even though it's smooth because he already admitted it was him?
Mm-hmm. You can play the video.
You want me to play the video? Alright. Let me just stop the screen.
Yeah, play the video.
Yeah, I'm doing it. By the way, this is for the sake of emphasizing that it was him. He already admitted to it, so whether you believe this video or not, it's already moved because he admitted. Let me just play the video. God damn it. Okay, I'm playing it. Can you see the video?
Yes.
Yep.
It's an 8-minute video, holy shit. Can you look at the whole thing? People in the chat?
Yeah, I can.
Alright. This is all 8 minutes, by the way. On second thought, here's the thing. Because since this is 8 minutes long and there's a lot to cover,
You could just what you could do is just take the link and just post it in the chat or something like that. I don't know.
Oh man.
5, 4, 3.
Hold up. Yeah, I've hold up. I've linked the entire document. I've linked the entire document. Yeah, that's how the video is. That's how the video is. There's nothing I can do about it. But if you want to look at that, that's what I was getting to. Is that if you want to look at the whole thing, look in my description. I've linked the document, and if you see like the one where I put it in parentheses, this is the sussy part. This is the one you should click to. This is the one you should click because that is where all the predator shit happened. So Cyber Ninja Gaming, if you want to like watch it in clearly and want to watch the whole 8 minutes of the guy proving that it was Seth, you can get it on my link in the description. There's not just that, but there's like he made a section just explaining that it was him, and then Seth already admitted to it. So it is him 100%. Now going back to the what do you call it? To the document that I was sharing. Here it is. Okay. I don't know where. Hold up. Yeah, there. Never mind. So basically, Cyber Ninja Gaming. I've already highlighted. This is like just before the satire one. You'll find it. He linked the whole thing. Okay, so this is what Seth said in Keemstar's stream, which even Keemstar was like, "What the fuck was like? What the fuck?" So this is what Seth said in Keemstar stream, and I quote: "I'm not a pedo because I wasn't in a relationship with." Okay, it's not a quote. It's a what's the word? What's the word you use when you like quoting someone, but it's not
Sure.
100% accurate, but it gives you the gist of what he was saying.
It doesn't matter if
Paraphrase.
you wasn't in a relationship.
Paraphrase.
If you have a sexual attraction to a minor, then you're a pedo. Plain and simple. It doesn't
It's a
matter
par-
if you had a relationship or if you got physical or not. If you are sexting minors and being sexual with minors, you're a pedo.
Basically, he said, "I'm not a like I it I'm not a groomer. I'm not a pedophile because I was not in a relationship with this kid."
That's the thing too. I want to say, grooming. It's not even the definition of grooming. It's not even like sexual. It's taking advantage of a minor. Period. And Seth did take advantage of a minor, so therefore he did groom that minor.
Whoever
Oh,
said
Oh
you.
yeah, man. Wait, you get to the part where he said it was just a joke.
Here's another
And man,
thing.
wait, you on the part where he just said it was just a joke.
Hold up. I really hate this document because he
I got
didn't link the
something to say
part
about
where.
that.
Just a second.
Hold on.
So for just to give you a bit of a disclaimer from our end, we are not nice people. Just like said, we also make edgy jokes, and this is not a stream for kids, obviously. But I'll say this: so this guy, he said, for some people with reading comprehension, so we have to explain for retard is what we have to explain for retards is what you're saying.
Critical. But go ahead.
All right. So for people with reading comprehension, can you say it again? That said, admitting of okay. Cyber Ninja Gaming. All right. With people, this is the video right here. Said admitted this was him in the screenshot with Keemstar. Right? This is the link. People, it's highlighted in blue. Now, if I play it would just lead me directly to the Keem stream, which is like 6 hours long. So, you want me to play a 6-hour stream? That would make a stream even longer.
Yeah, we would have to sit through, pause it, have a discussion, and then play it. No.
And for just to say that I'm not lying, hold up. Oh my god, I have to keep. Oh, hold up. This is going to be a lot tedious than I had hoped. Okay. My laptop fails me sometimes. My apologies. This is the link that I just clicked.
5, 4, 3.
This is the whole stream. He never specified which timestamp you have to look from. You have to
No.
basically look that up yourself. If I go to here, you don't know where he's going from. By the way, people in the chat.
I know it's somewhere
even
during the halfway. I know it's somewhere during the halfway point. Somewhere.
Wait,
I can't comment on a lot of them.
No, I'm talking.
just a second. People in the chat, can you hear the stream? And it's even for you people too in the stream.
I'm talking about Noodles' girlfriend at the Walmart.
It's echoing real bad.
Oh well. Triton, can you mute your mic for a second? I'll even mute myself from my end. No, if I mute myself, then that's fucked. All right. So, is Triton muted? I'm not looking at him right now.
Yes, yes.
I'm here.
Okay.
There's
play
not
it
food in
again.
my mouth.
All right, thanks. So I'll play it again.
Keem, how does this
the
Noodles
Walmart thing. I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta show this. We gotta show this right
How
now.
does this Noodles guy?
Noodle.
Did you listen to that part? Is it echoing?
No, it's not.
Okay. Whew. Man, I would just like link to the whole thing because like I can't play a 6-hour stream, and this is what I click. They never put the timestamp. Like what the fuck? But he's good, I guess. You can hear it. So Cyber Ninja Gaming. What can I do? What do you want me to do then? I'll show this guy right here. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to continue on, or do you want me to play the part, like basically look through the part where he was talking about Catherine Kawai?
I would
By the
say
way,
just
people
continue.
fuck up my stream. I know who you are. I'll fuck you up.
For some of the people with reading comprehension, can you say that again? That Seth admitted of saying those stuff. Yeah, Seth admitted to all of it.
No, say it slowly. Seth admitted to saying
Seth,
all of
okay,
that.
I'll say it for the stupid people in the chat. Seth admitted to it. Dude.
Now let me say it for the dumbasses that made the video defending it. Self admitted it to it. Do you understand?
Do you understand, sir, in the chat? Wait, who's saying he did not admit it? Because I'm on StreamYard.
He admitted. He admitted it was him, and this is what he was. This is his defense.
Whoever's
So one
defending,
thing that-
whoever's defending
Sorry?
Seth is stupid. All right. Like, look, I don't agree with Clyde's intentions, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, Seth is guilty. There's no side to Seth at all.
Okay.
I even think there's a side to Clyde. I feel like both of them are scummy. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
So I know both sides. Like, so I'm gonna make a video on Clyde soon. I know the Clyde stands are gonna come rate it. But I don't really care.
Okay.
There are other
So-
different ways.
So this is the thing that Seth said, and I quote. And I think I said this, but Cyber Ninja Gaming did bring up a good point. What if they're retarded here? This is what he said. I'm not a what do you call it? I am not a groover. I wasn't actually having a relationship with Catherine Kawai.
Yeah,
And
that
he
doesn't matter. Like, he still groomed them. Just because Seth said, "Oh, I didn't groom him," doesn't mean he didn't do it. Like, taking advantage of a minor like that is grooming. So
You don't
Seth
have
is
to be in a
100% groomer.
relationship with the kid to be a pedophile or groomer. I don't know what.
Exactly. Like, yeah, if you're sexting and, like, let's say you're at a mall, right? And you're like Seth's age, and you say, oh, this 16-year-old's very hot. That's pedophilia. Like,
Just
I
even
don't
having
get
any
why
type
people,
of sexual
why these
attraction
Seth stands don't
to an underage
understand
person.
that pedophilia is any attraction to underage people.
Hey, but Triton, I'm gonna give you the defense that they use. It's legal.
Oh, it's legal. Oh, so it's legal, so it's okay. So
Legal don't equal moral.
I'm sorry, that's
Oh,
yeah,
moral.
exactly. Like, bro, just because it's legal in some states, it doesn't mean that it's okay. Let's say murder becomes legal in Michigan. Does it make murder okay just because it's legal? No.
No.
Does that mean you should get killed because it's legal to kill you? No.
Okay. So
Or let's say building buildings in Idaho is legal. Does that mean you should burn down every single building you see? No. Like, I hate the legal argument. I really do.
okay. So this is another thing that we should also mention. Seth said, and I quote in the Keemstar stream, that I need to verify if the kid is a girl or not by saying what he said. Basically, if he's asking the kid, do you want to see me naked or not? So this is his way of verification, just to see if he's a boy or a girl. Anyone?
Ugh, this like, I don't know why people still think there's a defense for that. There's no defense for it. Like, Seth should just give up, get off the internet, never come back, go get help, and stop being on the internet. You don't deserve he don't deserve a platform. And the fact that Clyde was okay with this until now, it just disgusts me. Makes me question Clyde. Like, is Clyde doing the same thing? Like, why was Clyde okay with this? For 5 years, you were okay with this. Why are you now coming out with it? You could have stopped Seth in 2018. You could have canceled Seth in 2018. Why wait till now? It makes me so angry that he waited until now. Really does.
Metallic Silent, do you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
You were saying?
I'm saving that comment for later. I'm saving that comment for later because, like, my comment on Clyde for later.
Yeah, so like, I'm trying to say it for later, but it just makes me angry, that people are now exposing. Like, Seth should have been exposed a long time ago because, Seth, that's the thing too. Seth, he shouldn't even been on the Keemstar stream because he was fucked. He should have just logged off, ran away, never come back. He's lucky he's not in jail right now.
Creep short.
And that's the thing. Well, I'll save the other comments for later when we get to the Clyde part of the section of the stream. Got a lot to say on Clyde.
And just Clyde part, it's on everyone else's part because.
Yeah, but like, I still got a lot to say for like how this was handled. But unless Pastor Bay wants us to say it now, I guess we'll wait till we get into that part.
No. But basic.
No, I'm
so
just saying
there's
that. I'm
in
going to wait before.
self-defense on a lot of this gets a lot dumber. I'll just put it this way. It gets a lot dumber. But with, like, these are the two things that he said, that he wasn't in a relationship and he was verifying if the kid is a girl or not by asking the kid if he wants to see him naked.
But
once
he should have cut it off once the kid said they were 16. He should have cut it off right then and there. Doesn't matter if they're a boy, girl, trans, or not. You should, if they say 16, you should cut it off immediately. If they don't say 18 plus, cut it off immediately. Even if they say 18 and you're like, what, 20 or 30, you should cut it off because that's still borderline.
Just stop engaging in sexual conversations. If you know that person is underage, and you're an adult.
Heck, block them if you have to.
Exactly. Like,
Yes.
if you don't even, like, if you suspect someone online that you're sexting with is underage, block them. Don't even continue if you have to question. Because this is how you get canceled. This is how you probably get arrested. Like, a lot of these people that get exposed, like Cyrus and all these other people that got exposed over the years, they're so lucky that they're not in jail right now.
All right.
They're so lucky that their accusers and the people that exposing them are too much of pussies to go to the police.
Okay. Mentalic, Hood, just give your thoughts quick on the thing that I mentioned of his defenses, and then we'll move on to satire, because where else can we go?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I go to that one because, like I said, it's gonna come. Because, like I said, my thoughts on the Kawhi situation is gonna also clash with that one, the other situation.
Okay.
His defenses are bullshit. They don't hold up or really make any sense. That's my thoughts.
You know, like a lot of pedophiles can basically come up with the defense, hey, it's okay that I fucked this kid. I was not in a relationship. So it's okay, I can get off of this.
I'll say this, right? If this piss you off, the next one's gonna really piss you off.
Okay. Now, for context, because we're getting to the satire part, Triton, and it will make sense, Triton brought up the whole, whoever's eating shit for mod powers, he's retarded, and yes, he's retarded. Whoever's putting a popsicle up their ass, he's retarded, and that is true.
Yeah.
But Seth, responding to Triton, Seth is still not innocent. Because if a guy...
No, 100%.
No, I get it. What I'm saying is, let's say if you're eating shit and you told me you eat shit for me to give you mod powers, I'm not going to give you mod powers. I'm going to tell you you're being fucking dumb, and I'm not going to give it to you.
By giving
if someone
them
did that
mod
on my
powers,
server, I would be like, you can get out my server, and I'm going to block them. And I'm going to make fun of them for the rest of their life. Don't ever do that to me. I'm the wrong person to do that to.
By giving them mod power, you are encouraging the behavior, and you are encouraging other people to do the same thing.
Exactly. Like, Seth should have blocked that person immediately and kicked him out from the community, because that person is mentally unstable and probably is into weird stuff. It's probably a threat to his community as well.
I mean, to be fair, Seth is also unstable. To be fair. So,
wait, what?
Seth is not innocent in that situation at all. Like, both parties in all this whole thing are wrong, but both parties in the poop situation are both retarded. Seth's retarded for encouraging it and allowing it to happen, and basically telling them to do it, and liking it and doing all that. And the person doing it is also retarded and needs to be off the internet. And if I see them on Twitter, I'm reporting them off of Twitter, because they do not need to be on the internet.
And this is what I'm
going to say this. If I was in that kid's position and someone told me to eat shit, I would be like, how about you eat shit? Get fuck up.
That's what I would do. I'll be like, won't you do it? I'm not doing it, you do it.
No, this is actually what I was getting to. If a guy is eating shit, and this is Seth's defense. You know what Seth also said? He said he wasn't serious. And the guy ended up eating shit, and Seth's like, whoa, I'll give you mod powers. I didn't know you were going to do that, actually. This is Seth's defense. Mind you.
Is it true, though? Is that what actually happened, or is Seth lying?
Yeah. Seth admitted. He said that like the guy ended up.
No. Like his defense. Like, did he tell the guy after the guy did it that I wasn't serious?
Yeah, said in the Keem stream that first he said the guy ended up eating shit and putting a popsicle up their ass, and said was like,
Oh.
whoa, that is some hardcore shit. I'll give you the mod powers.
Seth should not giving him the mob house. That's should be like, okay, I'm joking. But he shouldn't even be joking.
I would have just made fun of the person.
I would have made fun of them. I would have reported them. I'd be like, get off the internet. If they were a kid, I would have contacted parents.
Wait, Mentalic what? Mentalic what?
I think what Triton was saying was, did he tell the kid that he wasn't serious?
Well,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Did he tell the kid? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
So,
but yeah, my question was,
you know that
did he tell the kid
oh
he
my
was
God,
serious?
He wasn't serious.
one at a time. Sorry, who's going first? Who's going first?
All right.
Mentalic?
I guess me.
Okay, go
like-
ahead.
It's Triton's point. I was just explaining it.
Yeah. Metallic said, did he tell the kid he was serious? That's what my point was. Did he tell the kid, not the stream on Keemstar, but did he tell the kid that he was being serious? Like, when the kid asked, like, when the kid did it, did he say, oh yeah, I was being serious? Or did he be like, no, I was not serious?
No, he said never discussed this. What he said was, like, this is his story. First, he said the kid ended up eating shit to get mod powers. Seth was like, whoa. And ended up giving the guy mod powers because of that. Not a kid. Someone else.
For that.
I know. Just let me finish.
Wait, is this person a kid or is the person an adult?
That's not a kid. Not a kid. Like, what?
If it was a kid, I would be searching right now. Like, if it was a kid, I would be going through and searching and contacting the parents, because the parents need to know what that kid's doing. If they're actually eating poop online, like the parents need to know.
Oh, hell no.
Wait.
If my kid ever did that, I would probably destroy the computer, destroy the laptop, and burn it. If I find out my kid's ever doing that.
All right. The person who ended up eating.
Oh, hell
no.
Wait,
the fact that these adults in this generation are doing that is just disgusting.
Can y'all let Bader say what he
yeah,
had to say?
Continue.
I was giving a bit of an explanation. Is that whoever ended up eating shit and ended up putting a popsicle up their ass, their age was never mentioned, but there were people in Seth's Discord who ended up eating shit, and one of them ended up eating shit, and the other, like, one of them ended up eating shit. That was like, whoa. That's then he was laughing, and then gave the guy mod powers, which is still completely wrong. That is one person I'm just mentioning right now. Because
wait, there were multiple people.
The other person I'll get to, but I'll get to one.
Oh hell no! There's multiple people. Ugh, Seth's community's just. Right,
one
continue.
guy ended up eating shit, recorded himself eating shit. Seth saw that. Then he said, "Whoa!" Then he gave the guy mod powers simply because of how amused he was. That is rewarding shitty behavior. No puns intended. When you encouraging someone to eat shit, sorry, when you give a guy mod powers just for eating shit, you're endorsing that behavior. You can say if you do the same thing, you'll get mod powers. That is one guy. After that, and even then, I just want to reiterate, Seth changed it to he was not serious. So he told the kid, he told the guy that you should eat shit, but he was not serious, and the guy took it literally. The second person, right? The second person ended up putting a popsicle up his ass, recorded himself, showed it to Seth. Seth gave that guy mod powers. So the second person came out of the first person. One ended up eating shit, Seth gave him mod powers, which sets a bad precedent. After that, a guy put a popsicle up his ass, Seth gave him mod powers.
What the
But
fuck? What
you
the
see how
fuck?
people follow that behavior once they see someone else getting rewarded for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So when
This is
Seth is
disgusting,
rewarding
though. Oh my god.
when Seth
I'm gonna
Seth
kill
is
myself
rewarding
after
behavior
this. Okay.
when Seth is rewarding behavior like this, obviously he's telling other people to do similar shit. So like he said he wasn't serious or he didn't ask the guy. But when you're encouraging someone, you're basically telling the guy, yeah, you should do something like that and you'll get mod powers. Now, whoever is eating shit for mod powers or putting popsicle up their ass and for mod powers, you all people should get a life, touch grass. Like, this is not fucking right. Anyways. Now, this is what the whole satire thing is, what we're mentioning. Because satire thing is completely related. I'll show it. So, satire is 16 years old. Seth knew her age. Let me zoom in if she mentioned it. But if he didn't mention it here, he mentioned it in Keemstar stream. But what satire first said is that she posted a picture of herself in a school uniform and showed it to Seth. And basically, she even told him that I'm a kid. Right before people say, well, anyone can put a schoolgirl costume, whatever.
Ugh.
So she already told this guy she's a kid, like she's a minor, not a kid, a minor, for clarity. Seth, she trusted Seth because her brother was into Seth and she was into Seth, and she, like, not in that way, but like as a fan. So the other thing that she noted was, she was like, hold up, let me see if it's there. Because this is one thing that Seth brings up. Let me just be clear right here. Is it here? Someone can continue while I look for it just for a second. Okay. It must be just above. Okay, so so the part where he said, are you a virgin or something? Just curious. Seth, first of all, if a minor is, like, chances are that person would be a virgin. That is one thing you should look into. But the person was not a virgin. So you see those, like, messages? Just curious. Okay, I gotcha. Just before here, she was talking about how she was sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
So it's not that he was asking someone to, like, okay, so this is where okay, so now I'm going to get to the explaining. He asked the minor for nudes. Can you all hear me? He asked the minor for nudes. Yes, Wolf. So he asked the minor for nudes. And when that minor said, like, I'm not going to show it to you. Wait, Metallic left? Okay. When the minor said, I'm not going to show it to you, he said, well, you can trust me. And then she was explaining how she was sexually assaulted, and he asked her, like, that's when he asked her if she's a virgin, and then she said, well, I'm sexually assaulted and everyone thinks I'm a slut. This is the whole context here in the screenshot that I showed you. And I'll get to some of its defenses later, but Seth basically asked the minor for nudes, and when that was refused, he said, okay, you can trust me, but if you don't want to, alright. But this is Seth's defense. He was saying that to basically make another guy who was harassing satire, and because she went to a school where this is probably, let me just get that guy. Oh my god, am I too low? One of them was with okay, there's this Basically, one of the person, I'll get to him when I can, but one of the people who goes to satire school was constantly sexually harassing satire. And Seth's defense for asking what do you call it, satire for nudes is to make that guy jealous, to basically fuck over that guy. This is the guy Nathan. This is his name. He was the one who was.
So you ask a minor for nudes to make another minor upset. Yeah, that makes sense. That doesn't sound sus at all.
And
That's not my. That's one of my issues, but that's not my issue with this situation.
Bro.
So this guy
My
was
question
the one
is,
who
why is he in that circle?
I don't like. For some, I don't know, but they haven't told that story. But basically, this guy was going to Satire's Facebook. He was harassing her there. He was harassing her in Discord. He was saying shit like, "I need to pound Satire, and if your name's Satire, you're going to get fucked." Basically. Oh my god, this laptop. Let me just see. No, it's not. Okay. So this is the guy Nate. Seth was making this kid jealous. He was trying to troll this kid by asking Satire for nudes. That is one thing.
How can you troll someone asking someone for nudes? That does not make sense. Oh, I just committed a pedophilic act. I was only trolling officers.
Now,
Oh,
and
man,
here's
God,
another
jump
thing
back.
here's another thing that he said. If Satire gives Seth nudes, he's going to make Satire. He would give Satire one of the higher roles in his server. So he rewarded a kid who put shit, like basically who ended up eating shit, by giving him more powers. He rewarded a person. He rewarded another person who put popsicle up his ass by giving him mod powers. Then he was telling Satire, if you show me your nudes, I'm going to give you a higher role. These are three things. And all of three of these things happened after the first thing, but you can all continue. You can give your thoughts on this, because it gets a lot fucked up.
So
Okay.
it's just
Okay.
it's enticing even more disgusting, fucked up behavior. Let alone you being a grown ass adult and asking a kid for nudes just to spite the other person. That totally doesn't sound sus at all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is my thought. Like I said, this. Okay. So he asked stuff for news. They try to play it off as a joke, but it said he did it. But saying that he did it to fuck with the one that is constantly stalking Satire and constantly trying to get with her.
Mm-hmm.
Here is my question. So if she would have sent those nudes, like even as a joke, like the fact that she said no kind of debunks the whole thing that she was in on the joke. But let's just say he was joking. But if she would have sent the news, right? What was he gonna do? Send them to Nate? Make the situation worse?
Oh, here's
More
another
importantly,
message.
That would be
Nate kid in the
professional.
server if he's calling
If that were to happen, that would be possession and distribution of child pornography. That'd be illegal.
Here's another message.
But go ahead.
And I don't know if you can see it.
There's so many issues with this whole thing being a joke that it's like funny. And
Wait,
it
did
not
he
being
actually
funny
get the
that-
nudes though?
No, he didn't
No.
actually get the news because she says no.
Or
Which is why he and this is the other problem. Okay, so you didn't get the news, and then you just start talking shit to her and mocking her
We'll get to
sexual
that.
assault.
We'll get to that. Mentally, we'll get to that. I just want to bring this up too because this was unrelated. So you see here when she said it was brought to attention that we actually missed one message. Seth goes on to state, "That's all right, haha. You too pretty to be sending nudes anyway," and it's confirmed. You see here. I'll zoom in. So you see, "That's all right, haha." I don't know how many of you people can see that it's transparent here. It's
Yeah, I
right
can
here.
see it.
You can see it.
Yeah,
You said you too pretty to be sending nudes anyway.
That's some
It's right
creepy
there.
ass shit.
People in the chat, did you see it?
That is some creepy ass shit.
All right.
That's all right. Ha. Okay. Okay. He said that's all right. Ha ha.
Yeah, hold
And
up. I'll zoom
you're
in.
too pretty to be sending news anyway.
Yeah, there it is. It's transparent, but it is there.
That's flirting.
If you look at the document that I posted in the
That's working.
description, you get it. Now, what I was going to get to,
I'm just saying that's flirting. That's not joking. That's just outright flirting right there.
so first he said that he like he even confirmed that he's going to give that kid like,
that.
he said that he's going to give the satire higher. Yeah. So he told satire that he's going to give a higher role in the Keemstar stream. You'll get it. It's not posted here for some reason. But another thing he said, like, satire never gave him nudes to whoever said that. She said that she was with her boyfriend and she's not going to show her body to anyone beside her boyfriend. I don't know. But this is another thing that he said. This is Seth. He said, "It sucks you live in Australia," because she's from Australia. I mean, I got enough money to where that doesn't matter. Still, though, it's nice to be closer. He wants to fly her out. And
yeah, that definitely isn't creepy. None of this is creepy. Yeah, none of this. It totally isn't
yeah,
creepy.
it's just a joke, guys. Opposites is just a joke.
All right, so can I compliment on that whole "it's just a joke" thing? Why is it private?
no, we like you can if we this is going to take a long just to break that whole thing down, and even Keemstar said, and I'll play that too. But so you see here, it somehow gets later on, like after he was denied nudes, Seth was spreading rumors about the girl sending him nudes anyway. So even though he didn't get nudes, he's lying that a minor was sending him nudes.
Let's not forget the fact that this girl that he's talking to is a sexual assault victim. So you're gonna spread lies that she sent nudes to you when you're gonna spread lies about a person sending nudes to them when that person is a sexual assault victim. You're just gonna traumatize that person even more.
But it's just a joke.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
But
Here's another thing.
This is the thing. No, this is the thing. Look. If this is a joke, he got that public. Why is the other one private?
Here's another one.
That's why I'm not getting the joke thing, because it's a DM.
So you see this XXX trap cock 6, that is Seth.
Yeah.
That's even verified, by the way. So this is what he said. I'm just over here peeping satire pancake areas. And then he said send satire shits. And Seth, hold up. Seth even said it here, like once like people were asking him just give me the whole tit thing. He said, more likely it's low-key illegal. This is where he said this.
So he knew what he was doing was wrong.
So he knows it was wrong.
No, it's because they would have called him out that he. No, because here's the one.
He knew
asked
what he
for
was
the
doing.
news. He asked for the news for one, and two, if he did put that there and there was no news, he would have got called out.
Also, if he wasn't saying this initially, he said it was fake. It was taken out of context and it was edited. Now he's saying it was a joke, which is something we need to mention. And I'll play this stream here. For
Every time it's a new excuse, it's a new explanation, and they're all different. They're all different from each other, and they all contradict each other. 1 minute it's fake, next minute it's a joke.
Okay, this is what I need. I'm going to show this to you too.
It being a joke.
I'll play 2 videos.
There are so many things that point into not being a joke.
I'll play 2 videos for you. Let me know if you can hear it, and then I'll continue. It's loading. Oh.
I don't know why the Twitter one
Just
not
a second.
playing. But, well,
What the fuck is going on here? Just a second. It might
Make
take-
bait for him. Like, I don't have these old
No,
ass.
no,
What?
I'll play it from the start. Okay.
Make bait for.
Did you hear this part? Did you
Yeah, I
hear
can hear
this? Okay.
Make bait for him. Like, I don't have these old ass.
You want the nudes!
No,
You
wait a
want
second.
the
Wait a second.
nudes!
Wait a second. Listen to me. No. Because I didn't know this existed. I didn't know this. Bro. This girl just said that she didn't want to send you nudes because she didn't feel comfortable. And your response to that would be, haha, it'd be just between us.
Exactly!
How are you
Seth.
gonna spin that, bro?
No,
Seth,
this
fuck
is-
outta here with that
there's-
bullshit,
there's
dog.
an
Quit,
error
bro,
with
you're-
make bait for him.
So you see the make bait, that is what I was referring to. He was saying that he asked this kid for nudes by trolling another guy.
It's just between us.
It's just between
Yeah,
us.
that goes against his explanation for him wanting to use it to spite another dude. That
He
that
said
one
it-
message contradicts.
in fact,
Oh my
now
God.
reading the whole "it's just between us," it's kind of like it sounds like he's trying to gain her trust to get the news, and then send to the other guy just to fuck with him.
Wait, it's
Saying, "Hi."
It's going to be between us, but I'm just lying to you because I'm going to piss off another guy by showing your tits. Haha,
I'm just joking.
I'm just joking. But
And I still don't get how the Seth the Programmer defend this shit. It being a joke has so many holes in it.
But I just want to say this too. I don't believe in like lines for joke. There are good jokes and there are bad jokes. If you didn't like a joke, whether it's for bad taste or anything, I would not say, yeah, you going out of line. I say I just didn't laugh at this. But this is how I feel toward good jokes and bad jokes. Everyone doesn't have to feel that way. What I'm trying to get at is that you can't just what do you call it? There needs to be a fucking punchline. For example, if you saying you should, as what Mentalic was saying, hey, it's going to be between us. How is that a joke?
How is
How
that
is that
funny?
a joke? It's not even about being funny. Like, how is that a joke? Like, where's the humor? It's going
That's
to be
what I
between
mean.
us. Send me some of your secret shit, and I'm going to promise to keep it. Ha ha ha! So fun. What? There's nothing funny about this. It's not even a joke. So it's completely bullshit because, and I want to bring this point. It's a joke for these people when they get caught. Once they get caught, then everything's a joke to them.
Oh yeah, Masturbator. Did you say that the Kawaii thing was a joke too?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. If it was such a joke, why did you delete your account?
He always deletes other account. That is like another thing, which is what Triton was bringing up, and I'll get to that. But that is one of the things. So how is this a joke? But initially, how is this a joke? And even like Pac got bring up, what's the joke here? That you asked this person to trust you, and by your logic, you were going to fuck this person anyway. There's nothing funny or fucking humorous about that.
Is the joke you being?
There's nothing about.
Because
There's nothing funny about sending nudes. Period. That's not even funny.
No, but my
So how's
general
it a
point
joke?
is, his defense is it's a joke, right? He was not serious. What I'm getting to is, he said that it's a joke, but his punchline is, it's going to be between us. So, and he said
Like,
he's going to
let me
bait
give you an
another
example
person
of it.
anyway.
let me give you an example of a dark joke. Remember when I was being sarcastic and saying that earlier and saying that, but it's legal in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but 16 is legal.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I was being sarcastic with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where Seth and where Seth is, it's illegal, and where satire is,
Like, what are you
you
talking
can't-
about?
That's not what I was
You are-
saying.
Or ask for news. It's not legal to do
Okay.
that. Basically, what I was saying was it's illegal in both areas.
Now I'll play this another one too. And I want you to listen to Seth really closely. If you can't hear my stream, like if you can't hear my video, let me know. But I want, if you can hear it, listen to Seth very closely here.
Like, what are you talking about, bro?
That's not what I was
You are
saying.
in these
That's not
Discord
what I was
servers,
saying.
fucking around with little kids, fucking around with this girl. You emotionally
That's not what I was
damaged.
saying. He was talking about growing up on the fucking internet. He was talking about growing up on the
She's
fucking
dealing with
internet.
fucking years
I
of
said the
abuse
internet
and
was
harassment
different then.
from you, and you take
Bro,
no
we all
accountability.
get
You just keep saying fucking
Keemstar's entire career.
jokes.
Those
bro.
people,
You
those
got some
people
real
I
fucking
interact
damage,
with,
you piece
those
of
people I
shit.
interacted with.
Like, what are you talking?
This is victim blaming. Internet was different then. It's not my fault. People were different then. Why are they blaming me now about this?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Jokes were pretty dark back then, but I have never heard of a joke.
Like, what are you talking about, bro?
That's not what I was
You are
saying.
in these
That's
Discord
not what I
servers,
was saying.
fucking around with little kids.
Sorry. This shit happened. Go ahead.
No, I was
Mentality?
saying like jokes were pretty dark back then, but I've never heard of a joke where someone asks a kid for nudes. Have y'all?
Well, we were like, yeah, we were all edgy. Like, there were things that I said that upon retrospect I shouldn't be saying, but nothing I've ever done was anywhere near as bad. I might mention this. I've made some inappropriate joke towards the kid myself. I'll come out and say it, and I shouldn't have done it, and I'll apologize. And I was fucking retarded. I'm not going to make excuses. But my general point is, I've never been in a position where I was asking a kid for nude. And I was never saying it was a joke then. Because, as I mentioned, if you're making a joke, there needs to be there needs to be some humor in it. And there's no humor in saying you can trust me. Even like after asking the person for news. What's the joke here? There's no joke. And once we were all in our edgy phases, we grow up and we fucking learn. The whole reason why that's a bad thing here is Seth first of all never grew up, and Seth made bullshit excuses for it. He's still making bullshit excuses now. So he doesn't get that privilege. Like, even when I've made some inappropriate joke towards kids, I won't make this now, and I'm not going to make excuses for it. I've done it, and I shouldn't have done it. Seth is making bullshit excuses after changing his life multiple times over that same thing. First he said it's bullshit, it's never true, it's Photoshop.
Can I say something, Bader?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wonder what he would have done if she actually, or what he would have said if she actually did send him nudes.
Oh, he said he would have blocked her. Here's the interesting thing.
I doubt it.
Believe that for a second. Okay.
No, he probably would have said, "Oh, that was a joke. I didn't mean to get those nudes. That was just a joke." She said, "Authorities don't arrest me. I was just joking with her, even though I got nudes on my phone."
Exactly. Like, and what I was getting to is, there are if the reason it's bad now, not like because Seth was saying it's old news, it's old. Things become, and I think I said this in a video, it's only old when you're no longer doing that. But when you're doing that, like if you're still making these like same shitty jokes that you're making, I'm not even going to call them jokes. If you doing this shit to this day, and you're making excuses for your past behavior, then you should be dogged on for it. If you're not changing, if you're making excuses for it, you don't get the privilege of, oh, it's old news, you can't take something from a year ago, because you're still doing this. You shouldn't be given that privilege. If, for example, Triton, heaven forbid, if Triton made a terrible joke towards the kid who was uncomfortable, and if he doesn't do it now, and if he regrets it, if he's never doing it again, and he'll never make excuses for it, and he never bullshitted about it, and he's changed, and he made up for it, he gets that privilege. That it's old, it's irrelevant. But if you're still doing that, you don't get that privilege. Now mentality.
Also, you know what I find kind of ironic? He had this one debate where he debated someone over the age of consent, and he said he believed that 21 should be the actual age of consent. After finding out what he did now, it's kind of he doesn't even follow his own logic.
And yes, like internet was different then, but he doesn't even get that. Yeah, like a lot of people have gone, I'll be honest, a lot of people have been, you have to be held at a microscopic level of what you say these days. But I understand why they feel that way, because upon retrospect, when you make these jokes that you thought were funny back then and aren't, like, upon retrospect you'll find out that it's not fucking right. Not about being right, but it's like creepy. It just sounds creepy, and you shouldn't be doing like, so yeah, like I don't like the whole, like, yeah, things were different back then, but again, he doesn't get that privilege to say, like, that kid was uncomfortable, you asked that kid for nudes, and then like, I don't get the humor. Like, hey, I'm going to, and I'm not going to treat that.
But this is the thing.
I'm going to pretend to be a pedophile.
I'll say this last time, and I won't touch that again. His whole joke is, you can trust me with something that I like, you like about your private parts, you give it to me, and you can trust me, I won't give it to again. But the joke is, I'm going to that is the joke. But here's another thing that he said. The other thing that he said, he's going to use this as a bait. So you're like you saying that you can like someone like this girl can trust you over your nudes, but you're going to fuck her over anyway by baiting another guy. Yeah, that's just a wonderful thing. And overly critical also said the same thing Triton said, and we'll get to the whole part there. But yeah, that is just wonderful. His entire thought process in this thing is just wonderful. And it gets worse because there are a lot of things that I think got missed out on, which were like really hilarious when you think about it. Let me see where he's talking about it. Let me see. Okay, so this is what Seth said, and I'm going to
you getting your
paraphrase it.
thoughts together.
Sorry, Mentally, go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say this
What?
way getting thoughts together. Like because I mentioned this that like when these pedophile allegations showed up, I originally didn't believe them originally because if I'm gonna be honest, back then pedophile allegations were like to the roof. Like there was like one every few minutes. And I was just like, it's just another someone getting called a pedophile with no proof. I didn't even look at that. I didn't even look at the evidence. The thing was, I was already done with Seth because of the other shit. But the thing was, the whole pedo thing at the time was like sketchy to me. And he also said he didn't do it at the time. So it's like, but it's like now finding out that he actually lied back then, I'm like, what else has he lied about?
See, here's another thing, and in Seth's case, I'll also give you a fair analysis. I'm not going to call Seth a pedo. I'll just say it right now. I'll explain why later. But what I'm going to say is why you didn't believe it. So obviously, the whole pedo thing has been thrown around so much that the whole word to me lost meaning. And now, like everyone's just calling everyone a pedophile for the heck of it. So, whatever.
Yeah.
And
At first, I didn't believe it either.
A lot of people use Discord messages, and those can be fabricated, and it doesn't help the fact that those messages have like deleted user in it. But I never got that document in the first place, so what can I do? And a lot of people who spoke out about it, like Just a Robot, because he brought it up, he deleted that video, so you would instantly think, well, that whole thing got resolved, so it must not be true. Now.
Oh yeah, and about the Just a Robot video, Clyde himself, yeah.
They defended him. I know. I heard.
They did.
Go ahead.
I said they did defend him. Well, at least Clyde defended him. I watched the stream. They were like hounding on Just the Robot.
They strong armed on Char.
So this is another argument that I will bring up that is made me laugh, and even Keemstar was like completely dumbfounded. And I didn't think it's a shame it didn't get much attention. But this is what Seth said. He didn't say it, but I'll paraphrase it. But that is the gist of what he said. He can't be called a pedo because he never got the nude. Which is basically saying I'm not a pedo because I wasn't successful. That is how Keemstar.
I mean, so is EDP, but so was a lot of pedophiles that Chris Hansen exposed, but
you can't call me a sex offender because I never was successful at sexual assault.
That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life.
I was never in a relationship with her.
Keemstar said it best. You're not a pedo because you're not successful. Like what? And just to explain, just to give my side of the whole thing, I don't like Keemstar either. There are multiple videos where he's done scummy shit,
Oh yes.
and on top of that, his wife's fucking retarded. I'll say this. The other thing I want to say is his wife, and like if you look at the age gap between his wife and Keemstar, you'll be fucking surprised. Like, it's a huge margin. You can't call Keemstar a pedo, but what he like, if you look at the age gap, though, he's us too. And again, that guy's a scumbag too. But in this case, I was feeling a lot bad for Keemstar here.
Hmm. To be honest, everyone involved are scumbags.
True. And I'll play this just for. Hold up, I'll play this too. Because that is where Seth was basically victim blaming. All right. You see this? You see it?
Yeah.
Mentalic?
Yeah,
Triton?
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Let me know if you can hear it too.
The reason the satire girl's so
Can
angry
hear
is
it.
because at some point, I started like making fun of her for being ugly. Like I used to make fun of her for being like a fucking 5-head, having like a big ass forehead, and she would then like ran to this group of, this version of Abraham, a server where everyone hated me, and I would just like talk to her about it like she was ugly, and I'm like, yeah, nice pancake areola.
Yeah,
mix, you ugly
abuse.
bitch.
So you see this? He didn't get nudes. He, as Mentalic said, he didn't get nudes. He was shitting on that girl. He was calling her ugly. He was calling her titties like pancakes. So he's abused. It's victim abuse. It's victim blaming.
He contradicted himself because in the DM he said, you're too pretty to say nudes. I ain't saying she ugly because he didn't get that.
So this guy, I'll play the rest of it. I'll let you people listen to the whole thing. I don't think there's much to be said here.
Or something like
Yeah,
I was being a loser.
Time out,
Yes, I
time
was
out,
being
time out.
abusive,
Seth,
loser,
Seth, Seth,
fucking degenerate.
Seth,
Well,
let me
so you're
respond.
trying to-
Seth,
So
let
this
me
is
respond to that.
so me
But
being
this is what you
Keem, let
do.
him talk,
This is
Keem,
what
let
the
him
abuse
talk.
is.
No,
No,
but this is
no.
but let me finish my point. Let me finish my
Keem,
point.
let him finish. Keem, let him finish. We'll dunk on
Because
after.
so what I'm saying is like, yes, I treated her like shit, right? Which is why she's trying to like turn on me at the end of this. Right?
Okay. Well, let me
Okay, so
respond.
wait,
Let me
before Keem,
respond.
before you talk,
That
before
you
talk,
fucking
wait,
beta
Keem,
fucking
Is that a Google
losers.
Plus
You
screenshot?
beta
Like,
fucking losers.
Wait,
You
wait,
always
Keem,
do
so I
this
just want
to
to say something.
girls.
You're trying.
You always do this to girls. You
Wait.
fucking sit there and you talk shit to them to lower their self-esteem, so then you can get them in a place when you can go ask them for nudes or like hit on them or something where they feel like, oh, they
No.
like me now and they want to
No.
be
Wait,
accepted.
wait, Keem, wait,
No.
pause. Seth,
No.
before you reply, let me go. Just wait, okay? I just have a hard time understanding something. How are you trying to justify asking a 16-year-old for nudes by saying that you also verbally abused a 16-year-old?
That's not at all what I was saying at all. I must have just.
That's what it sounded like to me, bro.
No. The justification was. What?
What the fuck are you
happened?
talking about? What the fuck are you talking
I'm sorry.
So
He just started walking off.
it's like what do you call it? I like after she didn't give me nudes, I was shitting on her. I was calling her ugly and everything. And then like you see the word where he said turn on me? Turn on me is what the word he used. How did she turn on him? He's completely at fault here. He's making turn on me sound like she just like backstabbed him. And she shouldn't even be around him.
Why does she owe him loyalty anyways?
Hey, remember when I said before? That's some incel behavior, so.
She backstabbed.
That is the definition of incel right there.
And like for him to say that like he and you know like the thing that he's talking about happened after she didn't give him nude, so it's obviously it's abuse, and he tried to make light of that by saying I'm an asshole. And it's like just because you're an asshole, like even if you're an asshole, you need to have certain limits. Like you can't just ask someone for nudes and say, hey, I'm an asshole, hey, I'm a scumbag. That's not right. That means you have to work on yourself then.
It's not even really an argument. You're just validating the person who's making those claims against you by saying shit like that.
Speaking of which, saying that you're an asshole, that doesn't really not say that you're not a pedophile, because here's the thing, pedophiles are also assholes. Incels are also assholes.
Yep.
And another thing I want to mention is there's a difference between being an asshole versus being a straight out creep. Seth is not like for example, if I call a kid a fucking retard and make fun of him, first of all, I'm saying like, yeah, I'm an asshole, but I'm at the same time, I'm not going to be nice about it, but I'm not being creepy towards the kid. I'm just calling him fucking stupid and everything. And I'm not going to haunt on them forever because a kid can get smarter once they grow up or fucking grow the brain cells. Seth was asking people for nudes, and his justification is, oh, I'm an asshole. Like, you see the fucking logic. But
not really much of an argument.
Like, you shouldn't be asking, even if it's a joke or not, you should not be asking anybody for nudes on the internet.
Yeah.
Then let's compare it to Kawhi's situation, because I'm just gonna take a guess he saw Kawhi naked.
And I think that's pretty much it that I think we covered. If there are certain things that I missed, you can watch Keemstar stream, which is long, but it's entertaining. But just watch it from where Seth joined, because ironically, Seth was the best part of the stream because he made it entertaining. Everyone else are just fucking idiots. They don't know how to argue. They were really annoying me. It's a fucking beta fight. Let me see if there's something out here. Go ahead.
Wait, so can we get into like the Clyde portion of the stream? Because I really want to criticize Clyde a lot.
I'll get to that.
Alright.
I just want to see if there's something
wait.
from
Before we get there, I do gotta say this one thing.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't know about scamming.
Okay. Alright, wait a minute, what is this? Oh, never mind.
Wait, is that the doxing? Wait, is that the doxing? No, that ain't the doxing.
No. Okay, so this is what I was getting to. A lot of these arguments were put here. But before I do, Seth was trying to discredit this document, although admitted to everything that document stated. So, first Seth said, it's just an edgy joke. And I think we've discussed this. So, I don't think we need to say any more than this. Second of all, 16 is the legal age of consent. Now, I want you to understand. Just like, I think it's even said here. If you're having an international communication, the whole age of consent is rendered moot. Because it just wouldn't make sense. Like, if for example, if I'm talking to a 14-year-old in Japan and it's legal there, it just doesn't matter. But it's still fucking illegal because he was sexting the girl. So whatever he was trying to say is completely falls apart. And the whole age of consent thing that he is saying it's legal or not is moot because he was engaging with someone from outside of the borders. And here it is said sexting is not protected in Australia's age of consent. So he can't use that excuses. And before all of this, before he fell back on it's a joke, he said it's inconsistent. He said that it doesn't line up, and then he also attempted to say with the deleted messages that it's taken out of context in his Photoshop, which is not. Because she said that I had to delete my sexual abuse story because it's personal. And he admitted to it, so it's moot anyway. But, so, and another thing I want to mention is that Seth's friends also came in and then they said that 90% of the documents is fake. So how can it be like, how can 90% of the document can be fake, but pretty much everything that is brought up here turns out to be true?
Yeah.
And
So
self-admitted as much.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, to make it clear, self-admitted as much.
He admitted to a lot of this, and his friends, like whoever was like defending him, were
Correct.
telling a completely different thing than what he was telling. So it doesn't line up with it's inconsistent. And Seth's entire thing is that he's a consistent person. He won't change his tune now, and here he is changing his tune. The document is fabricated, which it's, and everything that's brought up here Seth admitted to it. So where's the part which is fabricated? Secondly, it's a joke, and we've discussed that. What's the joke here? Basically, for TLDR. Thirdly, it's legal, which is moot because you're engaging in international communication. And secondly, sexting is not illegal in Australia whether you're doing it to a kid or an adult. It's completely legal.
Oh yeah,
Even
we're gonna go into the doc thing because there is a point I want to make about that.
You can get to the doxing thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, this is all done for the document. If you want to look more, you can look in my description.
Okay, I'm gonna say this: doxing someone's mother is bad enough, but getting a minor to do it is even worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
You shouldn't
Wait,
be doxing
Seth
anyone.
got a minor to dox. Wait, whose mother did he dox?
Noodles' mother.
And from what
There's
Mentality
no coming
explained
back.
to me. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Jay wasn't minor at the time.
There's no coming back for this. For Seth. Like, first you're grooming people, now you're having people's mother dox. Like, what did the mother do? Like, I don't understand why people's family have to be doxed over
It's all
him.
because of a fucking debate. It was always. That's how it always is. That's how it always is. It's always about a fucking debate. It's always over some house scum shit, or because the person don't like it.
It's stupid.
Now, from what Mentality told me, which makes this even more pathetic, is that Noodles was talking about something with Naruto. It's a Naruto debate. And they were like, one character can beat the other one, and said they didn't agree with what Noodles' stance was on this was. So the guy fucking talks to him. From what
Over
Mentality-
a Naruto debate? Oh my god.
From what Mentality told me, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what
No.
Mentality-
Master Babe, when I was talking about the Naruto debate, that was when Noodles came out with the fact that Seth doxed mother.
And
But yeah,
and when he was
But yeah,
confronted
from
about
what-
it, he go ahead.
yeah, that was when Noodles finally had it known because first up was doxing. First Seth like
Noodles' mother.
First was like Seth tried to dox, tried to get fired. He doxed his mother. I think he also made fun of Noodles' depression at the time too, and then rigged the debate saw that swag. All those
And when
things
he was-
came to a head, and Noodles lost it. And he went off on himself.
And when he was confronted about it, he didn't even want to apologize for any of it.
It was Noodles' mother, Wolf. They got done.
But what do you call it? So I think we pretty much covered everything. Let me just see. Okay, so there are certain things he said. So Seth so Seth, okay, I'll start this as an ending thing. You want to get to the whole Clyde thing, right?
Mhm.
Oh my god, there's a lot to cover. We are not even done. We're not even halfway here.
We're almost. This stream is almost just as long as Clyde's video.
Oh yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to bring up. There was also one other thing since I was talking about Noodles. There was also one thing I wanted to bring up. That part in the stream when Noodles started crying. My reaction was, why the fuck are you crying? You might have said that a long time ago, but did you grow up from it? Did you move? Did you learn from it? If so, then get over it.
No, he's traumatized, and I'll get to that whole thing. But I'll just start with the Clyde thing because this here is mentioned here. Triton brought it up. I think a lot of people bring it up. Some of the people that we'll mention. I want you to understand one thing, and I'll explain for why Clyde waited for this long. First of all, Clyde was collecting evidence for a long time. Right? That is one thing. So he was recording Seth. He was getting other people to collab with him and come out with their experiences with Seth. So the fact that if he makes a video calling out Seth can't just discredit him this quickly, and you can't blame him because, as Metalik mentioned, this is not the first time Seth is accused of pedophilia. If Clyde says, you know what he did was wrong and it is fucking pedophilic, he didn't even use pedophilic, by the way.
Yeah, but what I think
him.
Clyde should have done, though, he should have at least cut contact with Seth. He was defending, when this document first came out, he defended Seth when he knew Seth was guilty. That's my criticism. He knew Seth was guilty.
All right. Just
Yeah,
a second.
here's the thing. He did cut contact with Seth for a year before.
What I was getting to. And now I'll give you a context. This is the first thing. He was collecting evidence for a long time. It wasn't just he was just there for Seth. You're talking about stuff from 2019 to 2017, right? Let me get to that. So, during that period, when he was actually friends with Seth, you have to understand that a lot of people were discrediting it, including people like Swagkage, who didn't genuinely know. And when they found out, they were genuinely upset.
Yeah, it's because at the time, Seth did not admit it, but he admitted it to Clyde. If Clyde would have showed the stuff of Seth at the time admitting it to him, then Clyde could have exposed him back then.
He didn't even admit to Clyde, that's the thing. He was lying to Clyde. But another thing I want to mention is with Clyde, and I want you to all understand this. I'm not, and I'll get to why I didn't like this argument, but it needs to be mentioned. And I'll mention something from Clothespin too, because he brought up a great point. If you listen to Clyde's story about why he was siding with Seth for a long time and why he was agreeing with all this commie shit, Clyde brought up how he never had like where he was living at. He was lucky to not be fucked with when he's going from school to home. He never had any loving parents. I think the closest companion he ever had was his grandmother. So when this guy, Seth the Programmer, comes in, becomes his friend, tells him some of his personal stuff to Clyde, helps him, gives him money, you would, for a lot of reasons, be willing to be with that fucking scummy person because he's the only friend you have. I'm not. Some of you people may not relate with
I
him.
would not have. For me, I would
I
not have any. If my only friend was a pedo who was doing all this stuff, I would not have any friends. That's just
But-
me.
Again, like I also need to emphasize, that was something even Clyde had no 100% knowledge of. He was just going with what Seth said because he trusted the guy, right?
And the reason that, hey, Masbeth, can I cut you for a minute there? This is one of the reasons I believe Clyde probably had no knowledge of it, is because because I know a lot of people are saying that it's because of Clyde's video that people are calling himself a pedophile. Clyde barely brought that up. In fact, he
Yeah,
didn't
I
call himself
brought-
a pedophile in his video.
And I'll get to that too. But what I was saying is, Clyde had no knowledge. He was if you want to blame Clyde for blindly trusting the guy, then yeah. But you also have to understand that when the only friend you have, like when you have no one as a friend, and then this guy comes in, pays for your shit, trusts you with some of his personal stuff, even if he's a scummy person, in that situation, you would be willing to be with Seth for a long time.
Mhm.
And the third thing is,
Like I said, that's what the message is.
Seth, and I don't like to use the power play thing, but with Seth, it's exactly the case. Seth had a lot of power. If Clyde comes out against him very, very soon, right? If he comes out against him, Seth will send his other followers and to basically discredit Clyde. So he can't just go against Seth no matter what scummy shit he does, because again, how can you? Because a guy with power and higher subs than him can just fucking dogpile on him and he's fucking done.
Mhm.
Another thing that he said is
Not to mention
he had
also
to
in
pay
debt.
that Seth. Yeah, he was in debt. If he calls out Seth, Seth can just say, "Oh, this ungrateful motherfucker! I paid for his shit, and now he's fighting the hand that fed him." And Clyde is instantly discredited there. So the only choice he had left, because in 2020 he was like making distance, but once he got out of that thing, he also learned that he was doing messed up shit and he should not be doing that. He admitted from his side it was wrong, but what you were trying to say is that why didn't you do it sooner? And I also want you to understand this. And if it's that easy for Clyde to go against Seth, right? Then there wouldn't be no abuse in the world. Because you can say to any abused victim, why didn't you stand up to that person? You should have. But it's not easy. You can't. It's
not
very hard.
always. It's not always
Wait.
easy to get out of an abusive relationship. Some people die
I
trying
want-
to do that shit.
I want to
Like,
address
just
someone in the
on
chat.
Partner.
Mhm.
I want to address Overcritical Anime. He said Clyde knew about the screenshot and defended Seth on the video. There is proof. Can you show me the proof in the DMs?
He had knowledge
in-
of the screenshot, but Seth was saying it's Photoshop, and then he said it was a joke. And for Clyde at that mental state would blindly trust the guy. That's what I'm saying. If there's something you can blame Clyde on, it's blind trust.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something you can even blame Swaikake for it. Because Swaikake
And
was
common sense too.
well, whatever. But what I was getting at is you can't just go against this guy when you're at a lower sub and he has like nearly a million subscribers. Because it's not easy. You can't. It's a guy with power will instantly try to shut you down.
Yeah, I understand. 'Cause I've went against big YouTubers all the time, and their fans, especially the ones with a million subs, are so hard to deal with.
Seth's fan base like constantly dog on other people too. You have to take that into consideration. And there's like multiple stories of his fans like constantly harassing multiple people, like comic historians and other people like that. So, as much as you can say, well, yeah, Clyde should have gone after him then and there, it's not that easy. It's really not. What I didn't like about this argument, because he was saying he abused him, I thought, as much as I understand where Clyde is coming from, you should not be putting your trust in internet people regardless. And I'm not saying that Clyde is guilty for going along with Seth for a long time until he didn't. I'm just saying, even with that situation, you don't know anything about anyone. I can give you some of my personal stuff, but you still aren't there for me. So I don't like, and I use the word friend for oversimplification here, but nobody in the internet that I'm talking to are my friends because they don't know me on a personal level. What they know about me are the things that I'm showing to them. Otherwise, they don't know anything.
And people have a habit. People have a habit of presenting the best of themselves and not showing like the worst parts of themselves online. Yeah.
There's probably a lot of stuff Seth has done that we still don't even know about.
We don't know about that, and that's what I was getting to. Is that when you're blindly putting your trust in an internet guy, that internet guy will eventually fuck you over. And since you're not going to meet him 9 times out of 10, he would have nothing to worry about fucking you over. So, as much as I understand where Clyde came from, this is not something to justify it. This is to be seen as a cautionary tale. Don't put your blind trust in internet people. Because at the end of the day, they're not there for you. And Clyde learned that. I hope other people from this too. All the 5 people that are watching me. Don't put your blind trust in internet people. Most of them are your acquaintances at best. And that's all they are.
You know that this is just like the whole league drama?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly like the league drama.
I guess.
Wait, like what drama?
He made me do it.
Oh, the league?
Yeah.
I forgot about those guys, to be honest.
Like the drama,
What I was getting to is
that.
As much as I understand Clyde, I also don't agree with him putting himself in a position where he's being abused by an internet guy. Like, whatever. Anyways, if you want to see, if you still want to blame Clyde, all right, but then I want to mention this too. If you want to, this is something Clothespin brought up. If you want to still put the blame on Clyde, the fact that Clyde came out now, and he's putting everything out there. You can see him as him showing growth. You can see that he's changing. Otherwise, he would have still kept it to himself. He's trying to make up for it by also admitting that, yeah, I was there and I was listening to, like, I was there. And I shouldn't have. What's up?
I myself too just says, yeah, I did it, but it was just a joke.
Yeah, you can say if you want to think of Clyde this, like, if you still think he's guilty, you should think of it this way of Clyde coming out, admitting to all his faults by making that video on him. He even did on multiple instances said I shouldn't have acted that way.
True.
And another thing I want to say is, even if you want to say the guy is not innocent, even if you want to say like one is innocent and one the other isn't, it's still a conversation versus bad versus worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because Clyde only like Clyde just went along with everything, but Seth is the one who was asking kids for nudes.
Yeah. Well, no,
Nude
like
was.
I know Seth is definitely like way worse. It should definitely not have a platform.
But your stance is Clyde's not innocent either.
I just
Yeah.
think like Clyde would have still kept quiet if he knew like he would have not got clout out of it. I think this was more of a clout move in my opinion.
Oh,
But
oh yeah, MaSTAR. I wanted to bring this up because before this stream, I seen these videos from this. I seen these videos right from this guy called Mellow XO. And he brought up an interesting thing about Six. That Six knew about the allegations and said nothing.
Wait, who?
right.
Six.
Who's Six?
It's somebody Seth hang out with. Well, you hang out with.
So let's speed things up a bit. I think we got to the Clyde thing. We should also mention that Seth, who was calling Clyde like he loves him as like a brother, is going on calling him a bitch and everything, and he's going to beat the shit out of everything Clyde says. He's not going to beat shit out of Clyde, I will add, but he's going to basically debunk what he says after saying he loves him like a brother, and Clyde has every reason to feel that way. So his veil just completely fell off now. And this is one of the reasons why I decided to talk about Clyde, the whole Seth controversy, because a lot of people are jumping on this thing without having any knowledge of what the whole thing is about. Keemstar can be forgiven for one reason. While he should have at least watched a video or at least read a document, Keemstar can be forgiven because he's not really into this whole anime drama stuff. He saw this guy getting a lot of flack for it, and he decided to jump on it.
Especially got the people on the stream.
And then he got people in there to talk to them about the whole thing, and got a lot of stuff out from those very same people. But who can't be forgiven for this are people like Geekdom, people like MaSTAR Media. Who's the other guy? The one that you saw that I didn't see, but he also was coming. Who?
Kwame's video was pretty much like Geek's video. A whole bunch of
the other guy.
Huh?
You mentioned the other guy that I didn't
see. I said Kwame.
No, not Kwame.
Six?
No.
Oh, Six?
No.
Are you talking about Mellow?
Zazian.
Oh, Zazian. Yeah, Zazian.
So, who should I start with? Do you want to start with Zazian first?
Yeah, go and start with Zazian first because I want to get that. Let's just get that one out of the way. Originally, I was like, okay, here's basically what Zazian's point is. Like, they're all doing this because self-slight them.
All right.
Like, they're doing it for clout. And the one part, and here's the thing, while I agree to an extent, there are some parts they misinterpret, like why Swag was angry. Because if they've seen other videos where Swag had talked about, like Swag even admitted that Seth doesn't like him, and he still said that he was gonna be on the fence about the whole thing. Until the King stream happened and found out that Seth lied to him.
By the way, you can continue.
Which is really why Swag was angry.
I'll screen share some messages. Sorry, comment if I can. But you can continue.
Yep.
You can continue with this. I'll just don't get distracted with our show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like I keep like, and they basically also said like the whole being manipulated by the internet celebrity is kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of like it was kind of like how your point was.
Yeah.
But the thing is, while yeah, they were correct that a lot of the people that jumped in were doing it for clout. If they had,
Mm-hmm.
there are some parts where it just felt like they were kind of, because they said this, because they also said this, and this was a point that kind of really stuck with me because they said like I had the they said like the satire thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they don't believe that satire was an actual victim because like they even felt that that part was because of Clyde, because apparently satire still hung out with Seth until Seth started picking on him, which
By the way, all the messages that I'm showing here are in reference to, like, I liked a comment of one guy who made a great point about this whole thing, about the whole Clyde thing. So he'll give you context, so that's what I was screen sharing. I'll keep some of it for a long time for you to either pause it, look at the whole thing thoroughly, and then I'm keeping it for a good minute before moving on to the other. But what I was trying to get to is a lot of people jumped on the whole thing without having any idea. And if you want to call anyone out for the crowd thing, that is the people I would call out for. The people who, just a second, who had no idea what any of this going on and are giving their own ignorant opinion. And it is ignorant opinion because you're not researching, you don't have any idea what anything being said. From what Mentalic told me, for example, from Zayzin, because I didn't watch that stream, I was looking at the Keemstar stream, and I'm not going to listen to a guy who
thing that really stuck out because the thing was, I knew prior that Swag knew Steph didn't like him, but again, like I said, Swag says he was still on the fence, like he wasn't going to jump to conclusion. And then when the King stream happened and Swag found out that Steph lied, oh boy.
Keemstar can be forgiven for ignorance.
I ain't know Swag had that kind of rage. I'm gonna be honest.
See, that's what I'm getting to. Like, Keemstar can be forgiven for.
Huh?
Keemstar can be forgiven for jumping on the whole thing without having any idea why, because he got the general idea of what everything is about. Then he got the people in question who are involved in the drama to give this side of the story. And then once he saw everything, then he jumped to a conclusion. But if you talk about guys like Triton, who had no idea what this is about, and decided to do a stream about this whole thing, and the stupidest shit that they said, from what Mentalic told me, was that Swag Target doesn't like, who's the guy? Seth. Then that's
no, that Swag Target did it because Cell didn't like him.
That is, even if you want to talk about the whole thing logically, what kind of stupid shit does that even mean? You getting angry because a guy don't like you? What the fuck? First of all, it's completely ignorant because Swag Target already knew this. He already came out against Seth about this whole thing. So, of course, no shit, Seth wouldn't like him. Swag Target at least knew that part. What really annoyed him, what really upsetted him, was the fact that Seth lied to him about the whole thing with satire not being him. That is the thing that got him. He was lied to his face. and he's going to get upset about it. The another thing that he said that Clyde brought up his sob story. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say this. Remember that guy I told you about, Mello? He also said something similar that Swag only did this because it was convenient. However, I will say this. In a comment, Mello said that the fact that he just completely trusted Self means that he was either incompetent or some other word. Which while I don't think that's fair to say, I would say that Swag did kind of blindly trust Self. I will say that.
That is something that you can even blame Clyde for, blindly trusting a guy. I think that's called flame sharing gears. Alright. So, and this so Zazian is a fucking ignorant piece of... He's an ignorant idiot. He jumped on a drama that has nothing to do with him. One of the things that he said, which is completely stupid, on different levels, besides the fact that it's ignorant, is that Swag is upset at Seth for not liking him. I don't know what world he lives in. Obviously not on Earth. Second thing I want to mention is the other thing that he said, that I saw from Cave Farm people, is that he said that Clyde was going on about his sob story. And if you even watch Clyde's video, or the stream, or just read anything, Clyde was bringing up his story to explain why he trusted Seth.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. About the whole sob story thing. Like, I'm gonna be fair to them on this one. They probably, I don't think that they actually watched it because they mentioned how long. All they mentioned was how long it was. Because they watched it, they probably would have known that this was a year after the fact that he cut himself off himself.
And if you watch the video, Zazian, if you watch the video, you would know that for an year he was collecting evidence and getting other people to do it. Because he also mentioned that he can't go after him until he paid for everything. Because if he goes after him, Seth can shut him down by saying he paid him money and Clyde is being a fucking ungrateful bitch. Like, if you're going to make an opinion, just at least do research. I'll get to Geekdom and then I'll bring this up. Okay. So that is one guy. MaSTAR Media. No, I'll get to Geekdom because he has the fucking same retarded opinion. Geekdom, he's so fucking stupid. He made a video on this whole thing. And his reason for doing a video is because he got mentioned, I think, for 30 seconds at most in total. Geekdom stances, I don't know how these people look at this. Geekdom saw this whole drama between Clyde and Seth as an argument between friends. And the reason he thinks Seth should take mental health, he should take a therapy, he should get help, is simply because of the fact that Seth is shit talking all his friends behind his back.
Not because of all the
thing that really
nudes
got
and
me.
stuff.
You want to know the thing that really got me is that he said that this should have been handled privately.
What?
Well, that's how it comes off at, but you can also look at it this way, which is how I look at it.
This thing should not be handled privately. Are you kidding me? Everyone should know the kind of scum Seth is.
But here's another thing, that tells me he didn't watch the fucking thing either. So, Geekdom's stance is this is an argument between friends. Seth should not be talking shit about people behind his back, despite the fact, and I'm not going to bring any fucking personal Discord drama. I don't like to. it's irrelevant. And if you're not talking publicly about me, I'm not going to talk about our personal beef publicly either. But I have to break that rule on two instances. One I'm talking about right now, and the other later. With Geekdom, he was in a Discord server. I won't mention that guy's name. He was in the Discord server, and he was talking shit about NBA. NBA, who is completely silent about publicly, he's talking shit about him in a Discord server. And he has every right to talk shit about NBA, granted, but you were still talking shit about him behind his back. If you had a fucking set of balls, then fucking talk about him publicly.
Bro, NBA's a bitch though, so he deserves it.
No, I'm like, here's the thing, NBA was talking shit about Geekdom constantly. He's attacking this guy's character on every situation. I don't blame Geekdom for talking, be upfront about his issues with NBA. My stance is, you should be upfront about it instead of whining about it in a private Discord server. But he can't be the one saying Seth shouldn't be talking shit about people behind their back, because that is what he does. That is what he does.
You know what's not funny?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Geekdom always do it, but he finds some of the most toxic people I hang around. If you take Seth and NBA into account.
We're all toxic
Some of
too.
the most toxic people I hang around.
We're toxic people too. We're very edgy people too. But another thing I want to Another thing we want to mention with Geekdom, and I think Mentalic brought it up already. I wish you waited a bit. And that tells me he didn't know anything about this. He said this could have been resolved privately. He also said that I understand why it had to be this way. But if you fucking watch the video or the stream, Keemstar stream that you mentioned, or even the fact that, even the fact that if you just ask any of the people who are aware of the situation, you can't say this could have been resolved privately, because Clyde and Seth were friends for a long time. They were having arguments for a long time. It couldn't have been. And if you want to look at it another way, Seth was making this whole beef public before Clyde even made the video. He was taking pot shots, elbows, punches at Clyde while the guy was silent. Clyde had enough and made a video after Seth was talking shit about him publicly on Twitter. So Seth made it public first, and it couldn't have been resolved privately anyway. So what are you on about, Geekdom? What are you on about? You so like, and then there's MaSTAR Media, and he's like a fucking great personality in himself. Normally, I'll say this: I like MaSTAR's video now because he's now entertaining. He's more funny than Geekdom. But I want to mention this: that MaSTAR
had to make it about him.
Huh? What? He
That's
had to make it about him.
Well,
situation about him.
the thing I don't like about MaSTAR's video, he used this situation of a serious situation of Seth being exposed to take a shot at Clothespins and Totally Not Mark. Why the Clothespins and Totally Not Mark are not even involved in the situation? Why do you have to bring up them?
He's saying whatever Seth did, it's karma because he was talking shit about MaSTAR. That's how it came across as. Then yeah, the Clothespin and Totally Not Mark thing. He's upset at Clothespin and Totally Not Mark for making fun of his video. Like in Totally Not Mark's case, and I'll give you context. MaSTAR's sponsors copyright struck Totally Not Mark, and Totally Not Mark had reasons to believe that it was, who's that guy? Who's MaSTAR Media? And MaSTAR Media was already like being passive aggressive about it, so of course the guy's going to take issues with you. Another thing, with Clothespin was making fun of MaSTAR simply because of the fact that he's praising a lot of shit. So, so all of these things are professional issues. What MaSTAR used as a karma is that Totally Not Mark got his entire channel struck down by Toei, which is completely unrelated with MaSTAR as a karma, and Clothespin's wife leaving him as karma for Clothespin talking shit about him on the internet.
The Clothespin wife leaving him wasn't even because of YouTube, though. That's what Clothespin's told me, anyways.
Yeah. None of these
It's
things
just-
that he's saying karma
like-
have anything to do with MaSTAR. Go ahead.
And aren't Clothespin and his ex-wife still friends?
Mm-hmm.
So what? So it probably wasn't even a bad breakup. Like, what the
So, this is, I'll present to you, and I have to get to the other guy. He's not known, but he's saying a lot of stupid shit, and he's someone I know. I think he was even in my stream, but he needs to be mentioned too.
Who?
His name. Okay, so spoiler alert: it's Digital Overlord. I don't remember him now because I have some like partial amnesia, but yeah. So go ahead. This is what I said to Geekdom. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's a paragraph to paragraph. I'll keep it for everyone to read for some time. I don't know if I can zoom in, but if you pause the video, and I'll keep it for a good minute. If you pause the video, you can read the whole thing. But basically, my whole gist is, I think, is you shouldn't be making a video if you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, if you knew about the situation, Geekdom, you should be disassociating with Seth. You should not be saying it's a thing between friends. And
like a lot of these people, that's the thing too. Quaman didn't even talk about the grooming or nothing. Why are you gonna make videos about the situation if you're not gonna even talk about the grooming or serious stuff? If you're not gonna talk about the whole situation, don't even make a video about the situation, you know? That's the thing too. This was not a fight between friends. Seth and Clyde are not friends no more because Seth was doing a lot of illegal stuff.
And I
don't know why, Geekdom, you're saying it's just a fight between friends and that Seth's still a good guy. No, Seth should be deplatformed and not be associated with.
So
I'm gonna say this, like Masturbate said, no one online are friends.
Yeah, nobody online are friends. Like, I'm not friends with a lot of people on here. No, I'm not really friends with nobody on here.
Now,
my friends are real life. Like, so many people in my Discord, like, that were in there got so mad at me when I said, well, I was never even friends with them.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can still respect their opinions, and you can still be nice and stuff, right? But like getting close enough to share personal shit, nah.
Exactly. Like, I'm not sharing my personal stuff with nobody on here. I ain't trying to get doxxed.
And I think that's probably I think that's probably was Geekdom's problem.
So this is what I was getting to. I told Geekdom you should either have an informed opinion, and it's clear that you don't have an informed opinion because you're not being harsh on Seth, which you should be. You should at the very least say, I'm not going to associate with him anymore.
Exactly. I agree.
Geekdom said, not a single person pressured me, and this is the level of strawman on this guy. So you basically want me to behave like someone else other than me, and you actually telling me I have no clue what I'm talking about when I actually know these people and you don't. You're upset because I didn't say, yeah, I want to associate with this dude anymore, when that had nothing to do with the video or why it was made. Geekdom, you jumping on an argument, you
That
jumping
you
on a topic, on a controversy.
have
Okay, I'll
no
stop.
understanding about.
You jumping on a topic that you have no idea about, and you jumping on it because there's a controversy around Seth. I'm not expecting people, whether it's Avian, whether it's MaSTAR, or whether it's Keemstar. And there's more. There's more that I've not even looked at. I'm not going to expect
Oh.
you people
Awesome.
to go ahead. I'm not going to expect you
Also,
people
I
to.
gotta bring
I swear to God, I
I gotta
feel like
bring
you
this
have something against me right now.
point.
I feel like you have something against me.
Geekdom.
Go ahead.
But I gotta bring this point.
Go ahead.
If Geekdom knew these people like he said he did, at least would not work. But it's just I had to say it. Sorry, I'm sorry. Like
There's 5 people here. There's only 4 likes. Hit the like button.
Thanks. Man, this is what Triton gets for trying to get me to have more likes. Justice for Triton. Metallic, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, okay. You were saying.
I was saying, like, for you, like, for me, it's like you stop talking. I can't really check the stream to know, like, if you're still talking because I'm on my phone. Like, I cut off a lot.
Alright. So, you know what? Before I even get to my main point, and then I think I'm done. I don't think I have anything else to cover. I'll bring this guy up. And again, I know this guy, but I don't remember him that much. And the reason I can't remember it that much because I got into an accident and I have a partial amnesia. But anyway, I'll bring this guy up. I'll screen share it for you people. And I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't be talking about him. Even if he's saying this stupid shit, but I'm talking about him first of all. He has issues with me that I don't know about, that he's not even saying. Which tells me that he has no issue with me regardless and he's just fucking with me for the sake of fucking with me. And if you're doing that, I have no love for you. Second of all, he's saying so much stupid shit. So, and I don't like to get into personal drama, and I wouldn't show Discord messages until I'm forced to. This guy is big. Okay. I'll show him right now. And I know Wolf's happy. Anyways, I don't know if I can zoom this, but what he's saying is, bro, he's not everything. Okay. He's not everything else is true. And that probably is because of the fact that Seth is called a pedophile. Now, normally what he said is not that inherently wrong, except for the fact that the reason he's coming to why he doesn't think he's a pedophile is because he was watching according to mentality. He was watching these year-long videos. He was bringing up year-long videos that said quote-unquote debunked, even though he admitted to it much later on. So these so-called debunks are straight up lies. So he believed a lie after supposedly watching the stream where he admitted to his crime. And he thinks that it's not true. He never sexted a minor. That's what this guy
Who's
thinks.
saying that?
Digital Overlord. Here it
Could it, bruh? What, Geek? Why do you have such dog shit takes?
is.
I hope you're watching this, Geek. Like, bruh, you're saying, "Oh, how it was on the screen." Like, Clyde put it in his video. Like, the screenshots are legitimate. Seth admitted to sexting a minor. You moron! How did he not sext a minor when he admitted to it?
Okay. Guys, I'm gonna break one of the rules here.
Like, bruh.
Oh, you
I can
screwed me.
understand where Geek is coming from. Because some of the other people's stories were kind of fishy.
Mm-hmm.
I say some of them, not all of them.
So this is what I was getting to.
And then where the doc came from, like they had that Discord for a year. That being said, I still disagree with the fact that debunks everything.
See, this is what I'm talking about. And I'll get to a point. He obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. Because he's saying, well, this is not true and everything. And I'll say Seth is not a pedophile. And I'll tell you why he's not a pedophile. Right? What he's doing is scummy as shit, true. But he's not a pedophile, and I'll explain why later. When we're ending this, and we're close to ending this. What Digital Overlord said, and what I was told, is he believes it because Seth made like videos a year ago or 2 years ago where he said it's not true and he quote unquote debunked it. And those debunks are lies anyway. So he believed someone lying about this and said, yeah, it's true. Because it's debunked. Even though, fast forward to now, he said all of the things that he's accused of is true. And that's all you have. You can. There are like fucking clips on Twitter. I have even showed some of them. You can just watch that. And he claims to have known these things. That is what gets me. How are you saying this is not true when the guy in question admitted that this is all true? That is one thing. And then this is the most brilliant argument I ever seen. And I don't get why these arguments constantly being brought up. Go ahead.
I just don't understand. Like, if the dude said it's true, why are you defending him when he even said, yeah, it's true? Like, I don't get what your logic is. Like, Geek always just gets into drama and just always just has dog shit opinions for no reason.
And again, I don't know. Go ahead.
Why are you even defending Seth? Like, did Seth paying you to defend him? Are you Seth's lawyer? You don't know Seth. You don't know the situation.
See, to be fair, he's still calling him a piece of shit. And what he's saying inherently is correct in the sense that the guy is not technically a pedo. What my stance, like what the reason that was brought forward to me, not to me personally because he's not talking to me, and he's not talking to me for reasons that even he doesn't know why he's not talking to me. So I have no love for him anyway. And personally, I forgot about the guy. I have some memory issues right now, amnesia. So what I was getting to is the reason he thinks that's not a pedo is because he debunked those claims years ago. Now that's completely false because he admitted to it. He's debunked some straight up lies now. And another thing I want to mention is this. This is another brilliant argument that he brought up. Triton, can you just mute yourself? I'll let you talk because I'm hearing myself a lot, and I'm sorry for telling you that. I don't like to tell people that, but I'm sorry. What I'm getting to here is that, and none of you people can see this clearly, and I apologize. So I'll show this I'll read this for you verbatim. Digital Overlord. It was sent to me. It was sent to me at that point in time. Why did they not go to the police about this situation if they know about that? So, first of all, my dude, I'll stop screen sharing this now. This is what I don't. So, when a lot of these arguments are go to the cops, first of all, it's an international communication. Who are you going to call the cops from Australia? Or sorry, America? How is that girl from Australia going to call the cops from America and tell this guy he was being mean to me, like he was saying these things to me on the internet? You know what cops does, and a lot of people say just go to the cops, go to the cops, go to the cops. I want you to understand one thing, and I'll allow you people to say your pieces afterwards. If you don't agree with me, it's okay. I'll let you say that. A lot of the police officers look at everything that is said on the internet. 8 times out of 10, they just see it as internet drama that they don't need to be involved with. They have other things to do. They're going to be looking at this and say, I'm not going to fucking talk up shit about you if someone's being mean to you on the internet. That is how they think. And it doesn't help the fact that Seth deleted his account. So who are they going to even narrow it down to? Not saying this can't be used in a court of law because, people can verify if it's actually said, but they don't, because a lot of these people are old people who don't know about how the world works these days, and they're seeing a lot of these things as internet drama. So, and that is why when someone said, well, why didn't anyone call the cops on perfection? People have tried, and they can't get these people because they just saw it as internet drama. It's not how I would see it, of course, but that's how a lot of these people think. They're going to go out of their way to cut their work out for themselves. So if you report this Seth thing to the cops, to wherever he lives, you don't know where he lives. Let's say even if you call the FBI, right? Let's say even if you call the FBI, and people have tried calling FBI on perfection. I'm not going to shit on you that. You can't bring this, because FBI people will just be saying we can't do this because it's internet drama, and they have. They don't take these things seriously. So how the fuck this is not just him. It's like a lot of people. When they say, why don't you call the cops? You can't call the cops. They just don't listen. And what else can you do? Show them
Copy
your
that.
messages? That's all I wanted to say. But yeah, try to mentality you and say your piece, even if you don't like what I said.
Okay, the whole call the cops thing. That is one argument I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I used to use it sometimes, but thinking back on it now, there is a reason why they couldn't call the cops, because here's the thing. When it comes to Discord messages, the cops don't really give a shit.
And that is the only thing you can show. Doesn't help the fact that he deleted his messages all the time. That is another thing that can be used for Clyde too. He can't be it's very hard to, what do you call it?
Unless the person goes to where unless Seth went to the person directly, the cops really wouldn't be able to do shit.
They won't do shit. And the other thing is, if a guy is deleting his Discord accounts every so often, it's very hard to narrow it down to where it's coming from. Because anyone can just delete their account and the whole thing's rendered moot anyway. That can be even used for Clyde for why it took him this long anyway. That is what I'm getting to. And Digital Overlord's comment, first of all, I don't remember him because of amnesia. And the other thing I want to mention is, I have no love for him anymore because he's taking issues with me for no reason, and I'm not going to pretend to hide all the stuff that he said. Thirdly, he said something so stupid that I had no reason to show this, just to show it to other people who are saying, well, why did he call the cops on Seth? You can't call the cops on him because those cops won't take this thing seriously anyway. And you can't be saying, and this is my whole general point of this whole thing, what I'm trying to tell the people like Geekdom, Zayvin, Digital Overlord, and whoever, don't be. I understand why you don't want to look at this whole thing. Clyde's video is nearly 3 hours long. Keemstar stream is 6 hours long, right? And some of these people don't like to read documents. Either they didn't get the document, or they didn't get they don't want to read it because it's 56 pages something long. And probably neither of them wanted to look at all the clips that were posted from about Keemstar and the whole conversation. I understand all of that, right? I understand. But at the same time, if you have no idea of what is going on, if you have no idea, don't talk about it. I showed the document in my stream. I showed clips of that stream. I even watched Keemstar stream in preparation of what I'm talking about. You don't have to do all of that, but if you can, what anyone is expecting of you to formulate an opinion is do know what you're talking about. Do some kind of research. If you don't know that, then nobody's forcing you. Nobody's pointing a gun at your head and telling you, yeah, fucking talk about Seth the Programmer. Otherwise, it just comes off as you latching onto something. You're latching onto something for the sake of love.
Oh yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, I was gonna say this. I know like a lot of people are like desperate for a response from self, which I doubt there's gonna be one. Like if they're that desperate that they have to look up a year-old video where he's basically debunked like a year-old video that has been debunked by him, then
if it's debunked a year ago or 2 years ago, why is it now true all of a sudden? That's all you have to think about. It's not going to. If it was something that he debunked years ago, it wouldn't be an issue now. And he wouldn't be going quiet now. He fucked himself over in that stream. And a lot of this is because of the fact that he was being a creep. Now, that's what I was getting to. You don't have to know what is going on. Sometimes you might not be interested in something. But at the same time, don't talk about it. You can formulate an opinion, sure. You have your mouth and you can move your mouth however you want to. But at the same time, you're all being fucking ignorant regardless. Just like you have the right to say ignorant shit, I have the right to tell that you're being ignorant as shit.
And this is where I'm going to actually give one compliment to Clyde. Like you know, I don't think Clyde is as innocent. I will give him this compliment. He didn't bring up the pedal shit, and it's probably because he didn't know enough about it. Like he barely brought it. Like he might have like said like one or two things alluding to it, but that's about it. He said one or two things. The one who actually brought the whole allegations to life was Seth himself.
Now, this is what I want to say. For Seth, because that was brought up. And if Triton's trying to join now, I think we are concluding this. Metallic, I'll let you conclude before I do my conclusion.
All right. So we're on the closing space thoughts.
Yeah, we're on the closing thoughts.
I'm gonna say this whole self-drumming thing has been a shit show for a lot it's been a shit show for a lot of people. And I'm not gonna lie and say that it had negatively affected not only the power scaling community, even though I'm not really a fan of, even though I'm not really like that big on the power scaling community, but like it has not only affected the power scale community, it has also affected the anime community. Because have you seen some of the comments people have said about the anime community because of the shit? And it sucks that Seth is, and it sucks when one of the faces of it is exposed for shit like this.
Okay.
And at the same time, because I get where some people are coming from, like they're saying that there isn't enough evidence. Like when they're saying there isn't enough evidence. Sometimes, like they're saying there isn't enough proof because like they just see, like some people just looked at the doc and stuff. Sometimes you gotta listen to. Sometimes you should always look at the proof, but also listen to what people say, and listen to changes in their stories because it reveals a whole lot in the end.
All right. Should I do my conclusion, or are you have anything else to say?
If I would say anything, like what you said before, if you don't know about the situation and you don't really care to look into it, don't talk about it.
All right.
Because you only make yourself look ignorant if you do.
Okay.
And I'm done.
So, wait, what?
That's how I'm done.
Okay. So, to the whole Seth thing, and I'll start with Seth. So, by the way, I'll preface it by saying, I think we've covered everything that needs to be covered from our end. If we watch Clyde's, Clyde's video in Fabian stream and Keemstar stream, it would take us a lot longer, and I'm not doing that. But I've linked all those videos in my description. If there are certain things that I missed out, you can point to me in the comment section. Or but if you want to look at more of this, you can. I posted 2 documents. I posted Clyde's video. I've posted Keemstar stream on this whole situation. And if I'm going to suggest to you, you should probably look at from where Seth joined, because that is where the entertainment is, because the guy's so stupid he dug his own grave. That's where it's entertaining. From that perspective, if there are certain things that I missed, which I probably have, I've referenced other stuff that you can look at if you're interested in it. If you're not, then all right.
You can.
We've covered all the main.
You can also check out. You can also check out Noodles' video on the situation because he goes more into detail about everything else.
And yeah, like other people have also come out, and you can watch that video too. Like why Kage fix into ever now. So that's why I'm forming a conclusion. It's a shame Triton's not here. Now here's my conclusion on the whole thing. And that can be divided into 2 things. First is Seth a pedo. Second, if Seth can come back from this or can be redeemed. Now I'll tell you why. Firstly, as understandable as it is to call him a pedophile, right? I'm not going to, Pulse called him a pedo, other people called him a pedo. I'm not going to fault them or say they're wrong to say that. But from my opinion, Seth can't technically be called a pedo, because I want you to understand this. When Seth said this, he was 21 or 20, and this kid was 16. There's not that much of an age gap between them. Like if you're a pedophile, let's say I'm 25 years old or I'm 30 years old and I'm fucking up kid who's not even under 18 but under 12 or something like that. If I'm 20 years old, something. If the age gap is that much, and if that kid is like half my age, like 12 or 13, and I'm 23 or not 23, 26 or something, yeah, you are a pedophile. If I'm a 40-year-old and I'm fucking a 16-year-old, yeah, I'm a pedophile because that is how big the age gap is. They're young enough to be. They're young enough to if they're young enough to be my daughter, and if you're lusting over that, you're a pedophile. But if the age gap is 4 or 5 years, like if you're 20 and the satire, like let's say 16, the age gap is 4 years. It's not pedophilia. The other word is used, abusive or something. I don't know. It's weird. I can't pronounce that word. But you're not a pedophile. But so Seth can't be called a pedophile. If you want to call him a pedo, all right, I'm not going to stop you. But that is not what makes him a pedophile. That girl is like.
I'm gonna say this.
Instead of his daughter.
Yeah.
I never.
I was gonna say like. I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I was gonna say like the kawaii. I was gonna say like the kawaii. The kawaii thing was like, and this like I agree that you can't call him a pedophile. At the same time, don't confuse that saying he isn't a pedophile isn't the same as saying he's not guilty.
That's what I was getting to. That's what I was like trying to say.
Yeah.
Seth is not a pedophile. If you want to call him that, we completely understand why you're calling him a pedophile. No, but I'm not going to stop you. But he is still guilty of grooming. He still groomed this kid. Like he was trying to groom this kid, and he was seeing all this creepy shit. So he's a sus person. He's a if you want to call him a sex offender, yeah, you can call him a sex offender. But he's not a pedophile. That is why I think he's not a pedophile. Because the age gap was not that big. But if you want to call him, that's fine. And it is still wrong. You shouldn't be saying this shit to a minor. That's what neither Clyde said. That is not neither Noodles said. That is not either anyone who made that document said. He's not considered a pedophile. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. And he should stay away from children. That he's not a pedophile. That's one thing I want to say. That is why I don't think he's a pedophile. And that is what Digital Overlord was not calling him a pedophile either, but his basis for why he doesn't think he's a pedophile is wrong regardless. Because he's saying it's not true anyway. And if you read the screenshot, the first screenshot I said, he said it's not, everything else is true. Yeah. Another thing I want to say. Can Seth be redeemed? I believe that depends on where he goes from here. If he tries to change, if he actually gets help, actually refunds, apologizes to satire, does everything to make up for all the misdeeds that he has committed, yeah, he can be redeemed. Right? You can choose not to forgive him. That's completely understandable. But if a guy is changing his ways around after this, then yeah, Seth can be redeemed. He can come back from this. And if he's changing, and then that is where all the past shit he has done becomes old. And for example, a lot of people love Mike Tyson now, but Mike Tyson was convicted of rape as well. Whether it's true or not is a topic for another time, but he was convicted of rape. He came out of that, and moving forward, like in his stage of life, he has changed himself. He has changed his way, and now he's like a lovable figure these days. And you can also bring up other people who have done scummy shit, and they've changed their ways and they're great now. You can even say that Mike Tyson has not admitted to it, but like Mike Tyson has other issues besides the conviction of rape. Now, this is what I was getting to. Obviously, those two comparisons are not fair, but that's my point is, if you change your ways, all the past misdeeds you have done becomes old and irrelevant, but that is only if you change. And you can be forgiven and you can move on from this if you actually try to make up for all the past misdeeds you have done, or at the very least, you don't do those things anymore. The reason Seth is in this mess regardless is because he lied about it. He still does the same thing he does before. He's shifting blame to other people. So how can you not go after him? Like, that is where those past things don't become old. And that is why I don't think Seth is going to be redeemed, because if he wanted to change, he would have changed a long time ago. But at the same time, although I don't think he's going to be redeemed, because he still doesn't see how wrong he is in any of this. He says he's wrong, but he doesn't believe it. There's a difference. And you've seen it. If you watch the stream, you've seen it, that he's shifting blame. And I even shown some of it, where he's shifting the blame on Satire by saying she's turning on him and victim blaming. If Seth gets a moment of clarity, if Seth gets a moment of clarity later on,
okay, I'm sorry.
Makes up mentality. What? You're interrupting me again. What? I'm going to kill you. Oh, now you're not. Oh, you have.
Like, one of the steps to becoming a better person is to admit what you do. But what I was saying was hello, because I didn't know if I could be heard, because it kind of cuts my mic off.
All right.
Sorry
So
about
the
that.
first step of fixing a problem is admitting you have a problem. If Seth admits to it, changes his ways, makes up for his past misdeeds, including refunding people, apologizing to Satire, making up for something. You know, like you see. You know what I'm talking about. If he makes up for it, yeah, then he can come back from this. And if you're going to bring up his past, then yeah, you fucking piece of shit. Because the guy's changed and it's irrelevant now. But Seth is not going to, because he had a lot of time, he hasn't changed. He is saying he changed, but he didn't. He's still shifting blame to other people. But you can still hold out hope. So if he changes, he changes. But I don't think he does. And if he changes, then all the shit that we are talking about becomes irrelevant if he changes. That is the second thing. Or the third thing, for all these people, the digital overlords of the world, geekdoms of the world, Zazians of the world, and I'll just end this on this, because these are the people that got me to stream. I have no plans of streaming on this. But I did, because these people are so fucking ignorant. There needs to be a balance. But my point to all of these people is, they're not going to watch it, but if they're going to, you can still hold out hope. You have a right to say ignorant shit, but I have the right to say you're ignorant as shit. If nobody's holding a gun to your head, you don't have to talk about it. But since you did, I'm going to say that you're ignorant. And you should not be saying this. You did, and you can. But I can also say that you're being full of shit. And that is where this is where I want to leave my thing with. I'm such a clever guy, I make my own line. You can say ignorant shit, but I can also say you're ignorant as shit. Now, these are the most views that we have in my entire YouTube thing. But thank you all for watching. Triton's not here, but thank you, Triton. Thank you, Mentalic. Thank you, Hototaku. Thank everyone in the chat. This is the most participation I ever got. And thank you, Pod, for promoting my stream in your Maggie server, which has more people than my server. And whoever's watching from Konosuke server, I thank you. If you like this stream, leave a like and subscribe for more awesome content. This is Masturbator, and I think I'll probably see you on March when I do AEW review. Bye bye.